Haley, what the hell's going on? Welcome.
Hey. Hi.
How's it going? Welcome to the humble abode.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I'm great, actually.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm actually like being on time for once. Like the last couple of shows, like guests are showing up. I've been like, like
Yeah.
pretending I'm professional. Like, and you were actually early, which is a fucking rarity in this business.
Yeah, I always overestimate the traffic, honestly.
Fuck
You
yeah!
have
Cheers,
to.
by the way.
Cheers. Ooh. Oh my god, I spilled it on myself. I always do that.
45 seconds into the show, folks, and she's already wet. Here we are. You're a brand new starlet into the biz.
I am, yes.
Are you enjoying your time so far?
Yeah, I'm having so much fun, actually, and almost like too much fun.
Too much fun? How can you have too much fun?
I don't know. I guess I'm living that LA fast life, right?
How is the shock from going from Louisiana to LA so far?
Oh man, it's been almost a year since I have like made my move, and it's been great actually. But yeah, it was definitely a big culture shock almost in a sense. But like now, whenever I go back to New Orleans, I'm like, whoa. Like New Orleans is just a whole different beast. Now that I look back on it, I don't know how I lived there for so long.
New Orleans is a whole nother fucking world.
Yeah. Yeah, I like LA. LA though is like I don't know. It's like more up my alley, like the music scene and everything, like the partying. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a party girl, so I like it.
What have you been getting into? Like what gone to any shows? Like what's happening?
Man, I was going to almost every Insomniac event for a minute, like all the festivals. And what else was I doing? Oh my god. I mean, that's about it. I like to go out in West Hollywood sometimes with my gay friends. What else am I doing? But I've kind of toned that down a little bit because I've been traveling more. So now
That's a bummer.
yeah,
Well,
no.
I mean, depending if you're traveling for work or pleasure. If you're traveling for
Both.
pleasure, that's awesome. If you're traveling purely for work and it's cutting into your life, it's not as good.
You know, it's like both though. Like I've been going to Miami because I dance at 11. So like that's like fun and work, you know. So I like that. And then I have a special trip actually next weekend that I'm going out of the country for. That's for work and pleasure too.
Where are you going? Can you tell?
Go to Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're in Mexico.
Tulum.
Nice.
Yeah.
That seems like to be the spot recently.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're really into music, it's like the adult Disneyland for like electronic music lovers, as they say.
I had no idea. All I see is these Instagram influencers like, I'm going to Tulum.
Yeah. But I'm gonna shoot some really nice content out there, so I'm really excited.
You got someone lined up to shoot it with, or?
I do, but I don't want to spill all the secrets just yet.
All right, fine. I don't get the exclusive. Fine. I have never actually been to Tulum, or actually barely Mexico. I've only been to Tijuana, so
What'd you do in Tijuana?
got stupid.
That's what everybody does in Tijuana.
Have you been?
No, but I've heard about it because sometimes I go and dance down in San Diego, and everybody's like, oh, you know, if you cross the border to Tijuana, they got better strip clubs down there. And I'm like, oh my God.
TJ doesn't really seem to have strip clubs as much as they just have brothels
yeah.
that look like strip clubs.
Yep. That's the whole joke. They're like, if you go to Tijuana, they're better.
I made the fucking mistake of going into one of the brothels with some friends and thinking it was just a strip club where extras happened. And we're chilling at the tables and I didn't realize at the time, the girls can't leave your table as long as you're buying them drinks.
Okay.
It's club policy or whatever. As long as dudes are buying you drinks, you have to stay at their table. My one buddy picked out a girl that he wanted to hook up with, and she had a friend that we had to entertain because she was nervous about entertaining a black man by herself. It was really kind of fucked up. But
Okay.
we're there, and we're just chilling at the table. My buddy makes the deal, and they go off. And every couple minutes, this girl, she doesn't speak English. She's just makes that gesture at me. I'm like, no, I'm cool.
Wow.
And my third friend, who had another girl with him who spoke English, was like, why are you guys here if you're not buying? I'm just like, we're here to support a friend. And it's like, I'll happily tip all night.
Yeah, but you were like, I'm not trying to go into one of those bedrooms.
Right. Well, I also didn't realize I was in a brothel. I thought I was in a strip club. You know, as someone who dances, you know, extras happen in strip clubs all over America.
Yep. They sure do.
And no one's offended when you're like, I don't want extras.
Yeah.
I'm just here to be in a strip club.
I'm like, awesome. You're my customer.
Right. So after the fact, I'm like, oh, that was just a brothel. I feel really bad about wasting that girl's time.
Don't feel bad. It happens.
Does it really?
It's up to the girl, though, at that point, you know, to like take the initiative to be like, I'm going to walk away. Well, I mean, if you're buying her drink, she really couldn't.
Right. Every time she needed another drink, yeah, I was tipping her on it.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, you didn't waste her time then, as long as you were tipping her.
Yeah, but
she wanted to, like...
Well, you figure her dollars per hour, it's like some dude having you at the table and, like, you know, throwing you a couple bucks buying you drinks versus taking you back for a private.
Yeah, I mean, she should have just been like, don't buy me any more drinks. Like,
she didn't speak English.
Oh, my God. That's tricky. That's how it is in Miami, kind of. A lot of the girls that I work with don't speak English, and I'm like, okay, all right, hola.
How are the Miami strip clubs these days? Because my very first strip club experience, and this is 20 years ago, was in Miami.
Yeah, well, I only work at 11, and that's like the big daddy of like all strip clubs, I find, honestly, because I've worked all over the country. But 11 is crazy. And I mean, honestly, it's the busiest I've seen a strip club since pre-pandemic. I think it's busier than ever. It's crazy. It's really good money right now. That's why I'm going tomorrow. I'm jumping on a plane.
It has to be if you're flying clear across fucking country for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep. Plus, they have like a really strict protocol where you have to work once every 28 days to hold a contract there. So if I, for some reason, lapsed that, I would lose my contract and have to get hired all over again. And that's like, I don't want to do that. That was nerve-wracking enough.
And don't worry, soon enough, you'll be like, I'm famous enough that you guys got to ask me back.
Yeah.
I've been led to believe that you're going to be out feature dancing real soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've always loved dancing, especially in the strip clubs. But like going the next like level and featuring, it has always been like a dream of mine in a sense, because as a stripper, I would see these girls come in and feature and I'd be like, wow, it looks like so much fun. You know, to have people come to a strip club to see you put on a performance, a special one at that. So I was like, I want to do that.
Well, and that you can charge insane money for private dances.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Insane.
And they'll pay it.
I know. It's fucking nuts. So I started off in the industry as a roadie for girls, like going with features, going to conventions and shit like that. So like I've done a bunch of the circuit, and it's like, it's wild to me. It's just like, really? You guys drove fucking multiple states away to see this performer?
Yeah.
And you're just, that's got to be like a paycheck for you, bro. Okay, cool.
You got some diehard fans out there. Like even at music festivals, I'll have people come up to me because they recognize me. And I'm like, wow. I'm like known in the wild.
Are generally people pretty cool about it?
Oh, yeah. Very respectful. I've never had anybody like weird. I've had a few people like be like hesitant. Like they'd be like, are you Haley Spades? And I'd be like, yes, I am. And I'd be like, do you want to take a picture? Because they'd always seem really shy. Like they thought it was a good idea. And then they like got really like scared once I started like talking to them. And so I would always be like, do you want to take a picture? Tag me. You know, I'm always very nice with my fans whenever I meet them in public. As long as they're respectful, I'm respectful.
Well, and that's how it should be. I can understand why they'd be nervous, because it's like, that's kind of a weird, nerve-wracking, you know, especially if they have you like on a pedestal as a performer. And then you add in like, oh, if I'm wrong, I'm just asking some random woman if like she's an adult performer.
Yep.
Which could go over really poorly if.
Yep. Yeah, it could. I mean, but so far so good for me. There was one guy, I was at Mayan Warrior in October in LA, and it was one of like the security guards in VIP actually. I had a VIP pass, and the security guard came up to me, and he was very nervous, like whispering to me. He was like, are you Haley Spades? And I was like, yes, I am. And he was so excited to meet me. He wouldn't even put his arm around. He would barely even touch me for like the picture. Like he was like I was like, you could touch. Like you can like wrap your arm. I was like, but like he was very respectful, and that's what I appreciate.
You can't be too careful this day and age.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a petting zoo out there.
It's not a petting zoo, but it's also just like, well, I gotta 100% make sure that I'm consent with, you ever see Keanu Reeves? He's like floating around every woman.
Yeah.
Because the last thing in the world, you want to be caught up in some bullshit, like, on something as simple as like, I put my arm around.
Canceled, yeah.
Or some fucking criminal liability or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of a sudden, Haley sees it's like, I'm suing that security guard. He put hands on me.
Yeah, he assaulted me. No, he did not. He was very nice.
You're safe, bro. You're safe.
You're good.
While you're in Tulum, besides shooting content, is there a festival going on? Like, you just...
No, there is not a festival going on, actually. This upcoming week, they have a lot of events going on. But, I mean, it's Tulum. There's always, like, jungle parties happening. Like, there's always something going on. Like, it's very electronic music-based.
Like jungle music or like jungle, like actually in a jungle
house, like jungle house music, like think like tribal, like house music, but like.
Well, I know what jungle is. I just want to. Yeah. It's Mexico. There could be an actual jungle. That's what I was wondering.
Well, there is actual jungle parties. Like the collectives, if you get in on them, like Burning Man vibes.
Like out in the.
Like in the jungle. Like you got to trek through the jungle for that. Like you got. That's if you're like a diehard. Like I'm gonna go to a jungle party. But they always have something going on. So I think we're going to be doing that and like the day clubs. And I think it's like seaweed season right now down there, like crazy. They have a special word for it. I don't know how to say it. But it's like when the seaweed is just so insane that you don't even get in the water. So I'm glad that my Airbnb has a private pool.
Nice.
But yeah, besides content, I think we might go see like the ruins. And zip lining. We were talking about zip lining.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone zip lining before?
I have. Where did I go zip lining? In Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That was pretty cool.
It was like over a canyon or some shit?
Over the mountains. The Smoky Mountains.
Oh, shit.
I think it's the Smoky Mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee's the Smoky Mountains.
Yes. Okay. It was over the Smoky Mountains. Yep. That was pretty cool.
That is rad. The only time I've ever gone zip lining is down fucking Fremont in Vegas.
Oh my god.
You ever done that zip line?
No, I don't think I need to. I don't need to see Vegas from a zip line.
It's fun. You're not even that high.
I would rather do like a helicopter ride in Vegas. I think that'd be better.
The zip line in downtown Vegas is fun. It's only like a couple blocks.
Okay.
It's like, have you been to Fremont?
No.
Okay, so downtown Vegas has like this electric canopy over it, like with video monitors and shit, and you're under the video monitor, so like you're barely above street level. Okay. It's not like insanely high.
Okay.
And it's like a couple blocks down the fucking road.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, like you go from like maybe 3-4 stories up.
Yeah.
And then just down the street.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it in Tulum. I don't know how high we're going up. We'll see.
Like, oh, this is really fucking high. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm really excited to like go on a real vacation and like go off of like my meal plan for the first time in like 8 months. I kind of did it in New Orleans, but I was drinking a lot in New Orleans. So
oh my god, you were drinking a lot in New Orleans? How did that happen? How did that happen?
I know, I was just drinking a lot in New Orleans, so like I was like battling like the hangover the next day and then drinking again. So I didn't really eat a whole lot while I was in New Orleans, which I kind of wish I did. But I know in Tulum I'm going to be eating a lot of really good food, and I'm really excited for that.
Chances are it'll be healthier than what you would have gotten in New Orleans anyways.
Absolutely.
As someone who lived in New Orleans, please tell me, is there a place you can get a vegetable that's not mixed with something else? Like, I don't think I've ever actually seen a fucking vegetable that was not like part of, gumbo or jambalaya or some shit. I have never seen one in the wild by itself.
Yeah, I mean, you usually order a side of vegetables at a restaurant, but it's gonna be slathered in butter,
right?
Tony's,
or made in lard.
Yep.
I have often said, like, I love visiting New Orleans. I could not live there. I would be 500 pounds and sweaty.
Hey, the last time I went, I did something crazy. It was so funny. I had been there. I was there for a whole week, and I was working almost every night, like at my strip club, the Penthouse Club in New Orleans. That's like my OG home club. Love that place. I was working there all week. It was like Mardi Gras. Yeah. Oh my God. This wasn't even that long ago. It was like 2 months ago. I went back And I was working every night, and I had made like really good money. I think I had already made like $7,000. So like my last night there, I went to a parade, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to go to work. So I called up. Well, wait, let's rewind. I was day drinking. I thought it was a great idea to start day drinking by myself at like 11 a.m. in the French Quarter, because I was like, this is my city. I know how to handle myself. So I'm drinking, going to all these bars that I love. Like the Hotel Mont Leon has this really cool carousel bar. That's where I got kind of lit. And I called up 2 of my friends, and I was like, hey, come drink with me. Let's go to the parade. It was Muses. And they came out. We kept drinking, and then I instigated a threesome with all of us. And then I woke up in a hotel room in the French Quarter hotel room the next morning with my friends, like my friends that were my friends before I moved to LA. And I was like, whoa. I had to do like the 8 a.m. walk of shame, but in the French Quarter during Mardi Gras in my own city.
At least in New Orleans, I don't think anyone would notice at 8 a.m.
Oh no, everybody was still out, like partying at like 8 in the morning. Like it was like, I felt like I was one of those gutter punks for a minute. I was like, man, I am one of these people right now. Like I was wearing like my outfit, like what was I? I was wearing like a pleather skirt, like a nice blouse and heels. Classic walk of shame. Classic. And
I mean, it's only real classic if you're carrying the heels.
Oh, no. I was wearing them.
Yeah. So you're from there. You know better than to walk on Bourbon fucking barefoot.
Oh, man. You're
I've seen that
shot after that.
I've seen that shit. Like, you have to have seen drunk motherfuckers like walking barefoot on Bourbon. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're going to need a tetanus shot after that.
You may lose a foot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the last time I went to New Orleans, like 2 months ago. I got a little wild, and I was like, it's time to go back to California.
Where are your go-to drinking spots in New Orleans when you're home?
Man, it depends on the vibe. I really like the Carousel Bar. Like I just said, they have really cool craft cocktails, and it's a carousel bar. Like it spins. Super cool. It's in the Hotel Mont Leon. Or there's this new place called the Ghost Bar, which is in the French Quarter. They make like super cool, like craft cocktails, like they smoke and stuff like that. They have a really good espresso martini. What else? Ooh, if you want something like grungy, Backspace and the Gemini, they're like right next to each other. They're actually right by Ghost Bar. And then the Three-Legged Dog.
Oh, I've had nights in the Three-Legged Dog.
So yeah, Three-Legged Dog's grungy, man. That's if like you want to go to a bar and have like bar food where they have like jukebox. And
last time I was at Three-Legged Dog, they had a crawfish boil, and
yeah, oh yeah, you can get crawfish there. I think one of my friends had gotten crawfish that night that we were all like drinking. I remember they were eating crawfish, and I was eating like a chicken taco because I hadn't eaten like all day, and all I had was alcohol, and I was like, I gotta eat.
Pro tip: the crawfish coming back up from Three-Legged Dog burns.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, I hit it a lot hard one of the last times I was there, and ended up in Three-Legged Dog, and whoo.
Yeah, I feel for you. But man, I love me some crawfish. I didn't eat any while I was there though.
How could you? Oh, that's
I don't know.
Such a fail. Such a fail.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I for some reason wasn't eating that much, and I was like, why did I not eat a lot? So I got drunk every day I was there.
I mean, that's half the point of New Orleans is to eat gluttonous food.
Oh man, but on my flight back to California, I was like semi-detoxing on that plane, like sweating, like felt awful. I was like, oh my God. So when I got back to LA, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a good girl right now.
I am sure that flight crew is so used to people coming back. Just like, yep, just another flight back from New Orleans.
Yep, it was crazy. Oh my God. I felt like a degenerate in my own city. I felt like my own city chewed me up and spit me out.
It's not your city anymore. You left it.
I hate my city. Hey, in my heart, it still is. You know, that's where I'm from.
What was it like actually coming up there? Because like pretty much everyone I know that like from New Orleans all moved there like as adults.
Well, I mean, I didn't grow up in New Orleans proper. I grew up in the suburbs, which was like 20, 30 minutes out. But still, New Orleans is where you went for all like the parades for Mardi Gras. So growing up there, it was all right, but Mardi Gras was like always like a staple. Like growing up, we always had a week off for Mardi Gras from school.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, we had a week off for Mardi Gras. So I was so used to that. And then When I turned 18, I went to LSU for 1 year before I realized I did not like SEC schools. And plus, like, I don't know, Baton Rouge isn't, I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea. So I started dancing in New Orleans, and I was like, why don't I just go to school in New Orleans? So then I transferred and lived in New Orleans from 18 to 22. Yep. So most of my adulthood was actually in New Orleans. Underage drinking, all of it. That was all New Orleans.
I can't imagine people card that heavy in New Orleans.
They don't. I had a fake, but they still did not half the time even check it.
Yeah, town's full of degenerates. Like, oh, hey, are you tipping? Cool.
Yeah.
Like, if you're some 18-year-old who's not tipping, then all of a sudden they may be like, hey, can I see some ID?
Yeah. Even like the shot girls, like with the what are they called?
The test tube shots?
Yes. Those girls, they would just be throwing them into your mouth. They don't care how old you are. Man.
Yeah, because they're making their money.
Yeah, they're like, we don't care.
Everyone's on a hustle in that town.
Oh, yeah. It's very service industry heavy. A lot of my friends that I graduated with in college, they're still in the service industry because that's what pays. People don't go to New Orleans to be a marketing executive or anything. I mean, you can, but the jobs are very limited.
100%. And like the city, unfortunately, the population is still on a decline. It still hasn't recovered to pre-Katrina numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not sustainable unless you're in the service industry. You can't make that great of a living there, honestly, in my opinion. There's a few exceptions, obviously. You look at the houses on St. Charles. They're nice. You got some big money in the city, but that's not the story for everybody.
Well, certainly not. Yeah.
Everybody's drinking and partying for the most part.
Yep.
Slinging drinks behind a bar.
Yeah, one of my good friends who's now in Austin, like, moved down there as a writer. He's like, this is where real writers, cut their teeth.
Okay.
And he ended up like being a writer / being like an MC on Bourbon.
Okay.
Just, entertaining tourists.
Yeah.
And then a couple other friends who moved down there from Chicago, like one of them moved down there as a bartender, and then now she's managing restaurants and shit like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's all service industry.
It's a great town.
Oh man, but when things like the pandemic hit that city hard. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Like, at least, like, not full time. Like, I go back every once in a while, but I'm glad I'm not there full time.
God is trying to wipe that city off the face of the earth.
I mean, literally, it's sinking.
It's sinking.
I think I lost almost 2 cars to flooding there. I lost one, definitely. Like, I had a totaled car because it flooded. Just a regular rain shower, not even like a hurricane. Like, just a normal, random downpour. Lost a car totaled, flooded, like up to the windows, like insane. And then the second time I moved my car just in time, but it was almost another loss. It's just like that city is always sinking, always flooding. Oh my God, I don't miss that stress. Now I just have to worry about fire and earthquake.
You don't really have to worry about earthquakes.
No.
Have you experienced one yet?
I experienced a minor one. I was working at a club. And I felt like I was driving to the club. This was like I want to say like October or November. And it struck outside of Carson. And I was close enough that whenever I was driving my car, I was sitting at a light and I felt like a slight oh wait, it was September. I felt like a slight wobble and I had just gotten my car the week prior. So I was like, is there something wrong with my car? And then I was like, wait a second. That was an earthquake. That was my first felt earthquake. But yeah, my car was like, and I was like, what's wrong with my car?
Eventually you'll just be like, whatever.
Yeah. I haven't felt one since, but yeah, that was the only one I've felt.
I've been here since 2014. And the only one that even remotely bothered me was the big one we had in July of 19. That was the biggest one that Southern California's had in 20 something years.
Yeah.
So
I'm not that worried about it.
And
I don't own property, so I'm like,
insurance will cover that shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Most places don't even have earthquake insurance. Earthquakes are something that's not usually covered. It's like flood insurance. It's not something that usually exists.
I think they have supplemental coverage for earthquakes.
Ugh. Man, it's few and far between, though, I'm sure. It's like flood insurance. Most people don't have it. I didn't have it. But I mean, whenever my car flooded, it was still a total loss. My insurance was we'll pay you out for it. But yeah, it wasn't like something that like I like paid for exactly. I just had full coverage. That's what it was.
Hey, it was good that they covered it.
Oh my god, yeah, they actually gave me more than that piece of junk was worth.
Hell yeah. At least they didn't pull some like, that was an act of God. Sorry, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but even like the bigger ones, like that one was, decent size. It definitely like rattled the chandeliers.
Ooh,
like in the hallways. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a real fucking earthquake.
Yeah.
And what sucks was one of my buddies was in from Chicago, and first day in California ever, just here visiting me, and that happens. He's like, dude, California's telling me I shouldn't be here.
Oh my god.
I'm like, don't worry about it, man.
That's funny.
Hey, I'm just happy that happened when it happened, because I had just gotten off the can and we were about to get in my elevator. So like perfect timing.
Yeah. Oh my god. I always hear stories about that when people are like, "Oh, I was on the toilet when there was an earthquake." What is the joke behind that? Is it just like something that people are like, "Oh my god"?
I don't know. If I'm in the middle of taking a shit and the world starts shaking, that's not where I want to be.
Caught with your pants down.
Right. If I have to vacate very quickly, I don't want to have to vacate quickly and then go. Like,
vacate quickly and then go. Yeah.
I want to be relaxed when I take a shit. Like, I don't want shitting to be a high stress situation.
Yeah. I know for men, I know for men taking a shit's like very like, it's a very
moment
special.
of zen.
Yeah.
What, taking a shit's not that important to you?
No, I'm on a high protein diet, so it's like not pleasant. I'd rather just get it done and over with and go about my life.
You're not on your phone.
Nope.
They're just gripping on the sides and like, okay, time for liftoff?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happens when you're on a high protein diet. Everybody, yeah.
I mean, you just looked at my fridge. I'm on a fairly high protein diet too.
Yeah.
When we went to grab the White Claws, Haley looked utterly shocked that, like, you're a single dude. What? Why? There's food in there? There was,
Hey, you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't even have food in their fridge.
I mean, if you were here like 4 days ago, there was no food in there.
Caught you on a good day, huh?
It was one of those like, oh yeah, I need to actually like stop eating out for a minute and like stock up.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating out's expensive. That's something I've learned with like being on a meal plan and cooking all my own food and being super healthy, my chicken and rice, I've realized that I spend so much less money on food now. Like, I'm going to Miami and I'm actually bringing food this time. Last time I went to Miami, I didn't bring food.
You're bringing food down, like...
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to look extra snatched for Tulum. But I do have a cheat day on Friday. Like, that's like every week on the weekend I have one cheat day, and that's Friday of this week. So we're gonna enjoy some good food. Don't worry.
What happens on the cheat day? What's your cheat meal?
Oh man, I usually stick to the same thing, and it's usually only like I'm supposed to only have like a cheat meal. But whenever I travel, I make it into like a day. Don't tell my coach. But my go-to is usually it's either like sushi or ramen or a vegan burger because I don't eat red meat. So like a vegan hamburger, like from Monty's in LA. Oh, that hits that, that spot when you crave a burger, but I don't eat red meat. So that's why that's a cheat for me.
Why do you not eat red meat?
It doesn't agree with me. Like, it made me like really sick, and I haven't eaten it since I was like 14.
Well, that's why it makes you sick. You're not used to eating it. You just have to train yourself.
No, I'd rather not. I don't know. I like cows. Moo.
I like cows too. Inside
no,
me.
No. I don't want to eat them, and it doesn't make me feel good. Like lean white meat, like chicken, turkey, fish, even like that's what I can like pretty much stomach.
No pork either.
No pork. Oh no.
It's the other white meat.
No, but pork made me really ill. Like as a kid, like it was like actually the first thing I cut out because I was like, I cannot eat this. And then I cut out the red meat, like the red meat in total, like the beef, because I didn't really like it. Every once in a while, I crave a burger. I just get a vegan one.
You gave up bacon. Oh, that's so sad.
Hey, turkey bacon's not that bad.
Are you kidding?
Or vegan bacon. Hey, they have really good vegan bacon. I haven't had it in a while, but it's really good. From Smart Life, I think. I don't know. It's really good. You can get it at Whole Foods. It's really freaking good.
I don't believe you. I do not believe you.
Yeah.
Turkey bacon's always way too fucking dry.
Those are my usual cheat meals, though. I think.
I love that. Like you think.
Oh man, there was one
sushi
time.
is a cheat meal. It's like
I know.
It's like sushi's
I know
good
it's
for
weird.
you.
I know it's a weird cheat meal. Or I think the only time I've ever had something really unhealthy was when I had pizza in New York City. I was in New York City, and so I was like, I'm going to have New York pizza.
You have to.
Yeah, I had it from, what's the one from Spider-Man? It's like famous.
There's so many famous New York pizza places.
No, it's like, oh man, it's from the Spider-Man movie.
Like the old school Sam Raimi ones, or the...
No, it's, oh man, what is it freaking called? I don't even know. I don't remember what it's called, but literally the OG location, the one that was in the Spider-Man movies, has like something for Spider-Man. Like it has like a Spider-Man like moment in it. And my friend and I, it took us like 2 hours to get that freaking pizza because he had a car and GPSed us to the wrong one. Like they have like fake ones that like have like the same name. I wish I remembered the name. Geez, it starts with a J, I think.
It's not Joe's or something.
Yes, it is. Okay, it is Joe's. You got it right. I was like, I think it starts with a J. Yeah, it was Joe's Pizza, and we accidentally GPSed to the wrong one, and we realized that it was the wrong one. It wasn't Joe's Pizza. It was a fake Joe's. It was a catfish. And we were supposed to go see a Broadway show, and we were running so behind, but you know what? We made it to the right Joe's. I got my Joe's Pizza, and then we went to the Broadway show, like, we showed up like 30 minutes late, and like usually you're not supposed to show up late because you're like interrupting, but we like busted up through those doors and we're like, hey, we're here for the show, we're like late, and they just like waved us in. We didn't even go through like the metal detectors. They were just like, get them in there, because we busted through those doors like running, like, oh my god, we're late. Broadway shows aren't cheap. Oh my god, it was like $250 a ticket. We saw the one the Book of Mormon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Some Matt Parker, Trey Stone shit. Hell yeah.
Yep. But man, that was a whole event just getting that pizza for me. Don't drive in New York. You're better off taking the subway or walking.
100%. Or just take a cab when you have to.
Yeah. Oh man. It took me like 2 hours to get that pizza. But we did go to the wrong Joe's at first.
So partially your fault?
Not my fault.
Well, your friend's fault.
My friend's fault, not my fault.
Aren't you navigator? You're in shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to be navigator.
Yeah, and he had been staying in New York for like 3 months at that point. So I was like, you should know better. This is a very sacred cheat meal for me.
Where have you cheated? So where have you gotten cheat meals? Not cheated in LA. Where have you cheated in LA?
Where have I cheated in LA? No, I haven't cheated in LA. My cheat meals specifically? Okay. For ramen, Kasunori. It's the original hand roll place in downtown LA. Kasunori or something like that. Something like that. It's the original hand roll. Like they're like, you just go sit there and they give you hand rolls. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. Classic, simple. Keep it. You keep it simple. You keep it easy. Or. Oh my god, what is the ramen place that I love? Jesus. Oh my god, I'm literally like blanking on everything. Ugh. It's like, okay, I don't remember the name of it. Tatsu. Yes, I do.
Tatsu. Okay.
Tatsu. I was like, what's the name of it? Tatsu ramen's really good. And then Monty's. That's about it for LA. Otherwise, like I was traveling whenever I had a cheat meal.
Have you been to Doomy's yet?
No, what is that?
It is vegan, like, soul food.
Ooh, soul food. Okay, you're talking to somebody from New Orleans.
It's supposed to be really fucking good. I have never been, but it's in Hollywood. It's supposed to be really fucking good.
New Orleans is known for soul food.
Well,
That's like saying go eat crawfish in LA.
I mean, I've done it.
Oh, Chinese crawfish.
No.
Frozen Chinese crawfish. It's not fresh.
Oh, it's definitely not fresh.
It's not fresh.
Desperate
was
times.
No crawfish boil happening back there.
Desperate times.
Yeah.
There's a ton of like, Cajun seafood places in a bag.
I haven't had any of them yet. I don't know if I want to risk it, especially a cheat meal of mine. Oh my god.
What?
I would be mad.
Crawfish is all protein. How's that?
No, but if it was bad, I would be so mad if I went to one of these Cajun seafood places in LA and it was garbage. I would be mad.
Coming from New Orleans, I can't recommend be like, oh yeah, it will be amazing. I can't do it. I can't do it in good conscience.
No.
You'll look back and be like, that motherfucker lied to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't trust it. And I think after April, I'm going to like kind of deviate off of my meal plan. So then I'll have more freedom. Maybe I won't feel so bad about trying it one day.
It's crawfish. How is that really cheating? It's all protein.
I don't trust crawfish now.
Well, then it's not a cheat meal. It's just not a meal you trust.
Yeah, in general.
I mean, every once in a while, it's just like, I got to scratch the itch. I'm not going to jump on a plane to...
I would jump. Right now, it's crawfish season in New Orleans until about June, May. It's crawfish season. And when right now is actually the time to eat it. They're like big, juicy, plump, fat crawfish. You want those big old boys with the big claws.
It is not in the budget in the time to run to New Orleans right now.
Hey, Jazz Fest is coming up.
Oh, yeah. I never want to go to New Orleans for a major festival, by the way.
Jazz Fest, though?
No.
It's a little hot. I've been there. Ooh, every time I went, I was like...
Well, it's just hot, and it's also like crowds of just ignorant tourists.
Jazz Fest isn't really so... I mean, there is tourists, but Jazz Fest is actually something that a lot of the locals go to because it's like a lot of New Orleans music.
Well, I know it's better than a bunch of other like
Voodoo Fest or Buku. Yeah, a lot of
All I know is like one of the times I was in New Orleans was like during like one of the home openers for one of the sports teams, and the quarter was bad enough at that point. So I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to be here when it's like an actual like people travel in for this type of event. I would rather just be here on a random fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's still enough for you. That's still enough. All of Mardi Gras week, I was getting lit.
Like, I want to drink with professionals. I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of people who can't hold their fucking booze.
Yep.
And unfortunately, New Orleans brings that out in people.
Yeah. You know what I like to call New Orleans? I like to call New Orleans the Vegas, but with character and a little bit of grime. Vegas is very, I don't know, clean in a sense, and very, I don't know. Vegas is just, I don't know. Vegas and New Orleans are very similar, but they have their differences, and I find that New Orleans is like the grungier, like.
It definitely is. So I've been to Vegas multiple times before I ever went to New Orleans. And the first time I went to New Orleans, like, how did Vegas get the title of Sin City?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things I like about New Orleans versus Vegas is very segregated. Like, the lower income folks are either drinking at like bars on the strip or walking the strip with like giant margaritas and shit like that, where like the wealthy and shit like that are in like the ultra clubs and shit like that. Everyone's just out on bourbon.
Yeah.
Rich, poor, everyone's just out on fucking bourbon.
The locals, hey, I was out on bourbon all the time, and
yeah, and the locals don't go anywhere near the Vegas Strip. Like, I lived in Vegas for a couple of years. The only time I would go anywhere near the fucking strip is like restaurant week, because all the restaurants are fucking there. A show at the House of Blues, because that's in fucking a casino. Or if some friend was in from out of town, like, let's go to the strip. Otherwise, you could not pay me to go to the fucking strip.
Yeah.
The best you could get me to do is like, yeah, let's go to downtown Vegas because there's some grimy old casinos down there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you couldn't pay me. And I know plenty of people that live in New Orleans who are like, yeah, go to the strip.
Yeah,
go to bourbon.
Yeah. I had no problem with it. And that's like, looking back on it, even like being under 21, man, I don't want to say I had a drinking problem, but drinking was definitely a part of like my routine. Like, and in New Orleans, there's always something happening. There's always like a food festival, or, there's always something going on, or you have friends visiting, or like, I don't know. For me, I would pass a test and I'd be like, let's go out. Let's go drink. I lived in a high rise for 2 years in New Orleans. That was awesome. Glad I got that out of my system, though, because I lived in downtown New Orleans. I could just walk to any bar I want. I had a bar downstairs, and I was
You're
under
in the
21.
CBD, nice.
Yep, CBD. Yep, I was staying. It's part of the A Loft Hotel. So I was right off of Canal Street, 2 blocks from Bourbon. Glad I got that out of my system, because man, that was a wild time. It was just like, drinking is just part of the culture there, and I don't want to like I said, I didn't really have a drinking problem, but I was drinking more than I should have, probably, especially at that age.
You're not dead. It wasn't a problem.
Hey, I'm alive.
Right?
I'm alive and healthy and strong.
Exactly. Like, this is not an interview from the afterlife. You're fine.
Yeah. But if I still lived there, like I had a couple of friends go off the deep end around my age, like getting DUIs.
How do you get a DUI in New Orleans? How do you do that? How?
Do you want to know how she got a DUI?
Yes.
She wrecked her car. That's how she got the DUI.
And she was still there when the cops showed up?
So what had happened, from what I remember, I'm not gonna say her name because I want
Please
to respect
don't.
her privacy. Because we're not even really friends anymore because she was so bad off and on a bad path that I had to separate myself while living in New Orleans. I had to like be like, whoa, you're going too crazy at too like no. But she was drinking and she was driving her car around like a roundabout and didn't make the round. She just went straight.
Was she one of those internet videos of someone launching themselves over the fucking roundabout?
Well, she didn't launch over, but she got onto it and then just crashed into a light pole. So she didn't hurt anybody or herself, but she definitely totaled her car. And she didn't have her ID or anything on her. And she wasn't a New Orleans resident. Like, she was from out of state. So they couldn't confiscate her ID, right? So she got this DUI. I heard from her like 2 days later. She's like, I just got out of jail because I had a DUI. And I was like, whoa. And she's like, I don't know where my car is because she had to like sign it off. You know, it wasn't even her car. It was like her parents' car. But so she had to like pay it off and tell her parents she just paid it off and sold it. When in reality, she wrecked it and totaled it and it was scrap. But yeah, she was just so far off the deep end. And I was like, man, even after her DUI, she was still drinking. You know, and some people, they go down like that really dangerous route. And me going back in February and drinking every single day I was there, I was like, I am glad I do not live here anymore.
See, and that kind of shit is why I don't live there. Because I can imagine.
You just get sucked into it. You honestly, like, it's not like you're like a scratching alcoholic, like, oh my God, I need a drink. Like, no, it's just, that's the lifestyle.
Right, it's the culture. Like, bars are very much part of the social
and
scene
they're
there.
open 24 hours almost. They close for 2 hours a day to clean.
Or if they like you, they don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
You ever drink at Snakes and Jake's?
Yeah, once. Only did it once.
Only once? How? I've been there more times than you.
I was in the CBD French Quarter area, so I'd always go to like Backspace or Gemini or Three Legged Dog. Man, I remember going to Three Legged Dog at like 5 a.m. sometimes. You know, it's just the same people in there grubbing and drinking, and you go to the jukebox and play a song on there. Yep. That was like, I think that was probably the grungiest place I'd probably had been to besides Snake and Jake's, but I would go to Three Legged Dog regularly because I was close to it. Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ever make it to the country club?
Once. I don't know. It wasn't really I don't know. I didn't swim in it because everybody went there. Everybody I knew went there. I would go to the Chloe, which was my ex-boyfriend's like hotel that he worked at. So we would go there sometimes before I moved out here. Where else did I go? I don't know. Like the pool country club wasn't really my thing. I had a rooftop pool.
Oh, nice.
Building, so I was like,
It was one of those things. I got dragged there by a buddy of mine, and I had no idea that like this is still when it was a full nude pool. I roll in there and like, you know, just like, I'm gonna meet him at the bar. He just comes out like dick swinging out to the bar. I'm like, what's up, man?
Now it's just topless.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it's just topless now, but like this is long enough ago that it was full nude. And, yeah, he just comes out like out to the bar, dick swinging. I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey,
Have you been to Colette's? I've been there. I was there. I was there underage. I lived in the CBD. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Swingers Club.
yeah.
Yeah. I lived a block from there. And it was actually Mardi Gras circa, I want to say 2018. I think it was 2018. I think. Okay, definitely. I don't know. I was 20. So I think it was 2018. I was 20 years old, had a fake ID. Me and my friend and my ex-boyfriend at the time, we decided, hey, let's go get daiquiris and then go to a parade. So we did that. And then, you know, we're walking past Colette's, the Swingers Club, and me and my friend are like, we want to go in there. Like, let's go see what, like, we're turned, you know, or it's Mardi Gras. Hey,
Right.
We're like, let's go into Colette's. And we go in there. My friend decides she just wants to get banged out. I don't even know what the heck happened there. And then there's a stripper pole in the club, and I'm drunk, underage, in the Swingers Club, and I decide I'm gonna get on this stripper pole.
Were you already professionally dancing at this point?
Yeah. I was dancing from 18, but you don't do it when you're drunk. You don't get on the pole like that when you're drunk.
I mean, I know some people who have.
Oh man, you wanna know what happened though? I chipped my tooth. I fell off the pole, chipped my front tooth during Mardi Gras. Woke up the next day like, oh my God, my tooth is chipped. I need to fix this so I can work in the clubs. It's Mardi Gras. So I call up every nearest dentist and I'm like, hey, my tooth is chipped. And somebody got me and they're like, yeah, this is considered an emergency because it's the front tooth. So I go into this dentist office, which is actually in downtown New Orleans. He's like, so where are you visiting from? And I was like, I live down the street. I'm a local. I just got a little too crazy. That's probably like my craziest story of New Orleans. I chipped my tooth during Mardi Gras as a local. Had to pay like $4.50 to have my tooth bonded back together.
In a swingers club.
In a swingers club. Yeah, that's a story I will always remember and tell because that's pretty funny.
Was that the end of the night when you chipped your tooth, or did?
Oh man, no. I was drunk and like my friend was getting banged out by somebody. I was like, I started to get worried about her. And I started like crying, like overwhelmed, like drunk crying, like overwhelmed. I was like, we gotta leave. I was like, this doesn't feel okay. And then we went back to my apartment. And I felt my tooth was loose, and that's when I realized I had chipped it. I didn't realize in the club, the swingers club. I didn't realize it there. I was just like focused on getting everybody out of there and home, back to my place.
Did you at least let your friend finish, or did you cock block your friend?
I don't remember.
You cock blocked your friend.
I probably cock blocked her.
Oh.
I was crying. I was like, I remember sobbing in there.
That is such a dick move. She wanted to get banged out. Why would you not let her finish?
I don't know. I remember sobbing in there though, and I was like, we gotta leave. And then we went back to my place, and I remember like being like, oh my god, my tooth. And then I pulled off the piece of my tooth.
Oh.
It didn't hurt. Like it was like hanging there, but like I was like, why does my tooth feel like this? It was like I was sobering up, and I was like, There it went.
How did your boyfriend at the time react to all this?
Oh man, I think he was trying to get it on at the club too, but I was like too wild and drunk, and I don't remember what he said that night, but I remember the next morning I was like, wake up. I was like, my tooth. I was like, wake up, my tooth. And he was like, oh my god. He wasn't like mad. I think he was just kind of like, Haley, what did you do? And I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what happened. And then I remember one of my friends that had came with us to the club. She was like, she actually had a video of me falling off that pole. And it's probably the moment that I had chipped my tooth.
Like, did you full face plant?
No. I was trying to do something like kind of upside down. I didn't like fall. Like I fell like back, like booty back. Like I was like holding the pole and like my butt and my like lower back hit the floor. So like not like my face, but
how'd you chip your tooth?
I don't know. I think it was just like the impact. I think I might have like it was like the side. I think like I fell like sideways kind of in a sense, but I didn't like face plant. I think I fell sideways. That's why only one of my teeth.
Hey, at least you didn't bite your tongue off or some shit.
Oh man, yeah. At least it was fixable.
Right.
And they did a good job, all right? You can't even tell I had my tooth fixed.
I would never know. If you hadn't told me, I would have never known.
No, I mean, you can't even tell if you look at it. He did a really good job.
All right, bonus content. We're going to inspect the tooth up. No.
Yep. That's my crazy New Orleans story. Probably the craziest one ever, besides my threesome story from 2 weeks ago.
Well, and with the threesome story, I wanted to circle back to that real quick. Had you hooked up with these friends before?
No, but it's funny because the friends... it was one of my girlfriends and one of my guy friends. They had actually hooked up separately. And for some reason, they were the only ones that were available to hang out with me. The guy friend, he was working until 6, and the girlfriend, she was like, oh yeah, like, let me get ready and I can come meet you. Me and her got together first, and then we called up the other guy, the guy friend, and we met him at Three-Legged Dog. That's where we met him. We like walked to Three-Legged Dog and then went to the parade. So they had already been hooking up like a little bit. And I think that's what sparked it in my mind. And I was like, we're about to have some fun. I definitely instigated it. That was me. And the guy friend, he was all about it. He was my ex. He's like one of my ex's friends.
So he's wanted to bang you for a while.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, he knows I'm now an adult performer. You know, he knows I do porn. So he was all over it. Whenever I left, he was like, you should have let me hit it one more time. And I'm like, that was a one and done thing, my friend.
Don't be thirsty, dude.
No, I was like, no.
Who do you finish in? Or who do you finish
with? Her. My friend, not me. I told him, I was like, do not finish in me. I was like, no.
Good on him. Good on him. If he's going to have repeat business there, you always
Her.
finish in the one that in the threesome, you got to finish in the person that you're attached to.
Yeah.
Like, weird jealousy issues start popping up when you finish with the
No,
other person.
I was all about that. I was like, do not finish in me.
Was he trying to?
No.
Okay.
It was just like a panic moment I had. I was like, oh my God. I remember that.
Was it protected or unprotected?
It was unprotected. I actually, I knew my female friend was good, like from STIs, but my guy friend, I was like, he's a little bit promiscuous. So I texted him the next morning and I was like, when was the last time you were tested? Because I came to LA and I got my panel done right after, but I was like, kind of like, oh my God, if I pop for something, it's him. But he was like, I had mine like a month ago. Like, you don't have anything to worry about. And I didn't have anything to worry about. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that.
Hey, no judgment here.
No, but like that happens, like people will go and fuck people outside of the pool and then they bring something in. And I was like, oh no. That's why I got tested as soon as I came back. And
no, it's the way to be. It's definitely the way to be. But like,
it happens.
It happens.
It's life. Like,
zero fucking judgment. Zero.
Yeah, I was like, but like the next morning, it was like I had that clarity moment. I was like, what did I do?
You got yours. That's what you did.
I got fucked. That's what happened. I got fucked.
Right. You got yours. That's what fucking matters. Mm-hmm. There's zero shame in that shit.
Yeah. I was just like, oh man, if I put myself out of work for this. But everything was fine. In
reality, the worst you get is a porno cold, be out for a week and a half.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's fine. And I was fine.
That's the thing about STIs. It's just like, for the most part, it's just like, oh man,
I gotta take a pill and chill out for a week.
Right. Honestly, the hardest part for me is like, oh, well, fuck, I can't drink for a week and a half while I'm on antibiotics.
Yeah. Yep.
Thankfully, it's only been the one time. Knock on fucking wood.
Good. Knock on that wood. Me too. I'm gonna knock on that wood.
Fucking civilian I was hooking up with, so.
It happens.
It does. And
we gotta end the stigma around that shit. So many people, it's not even that serious nowadays. Like, most of it's treated by a pill. Like,
for real. For fucking real. I mean, the worst STI is pregnancy. I mean.
Honestly, yeah. That's a whole different ballpark.
Right? It's expensive to get rid of. If you don't get rid of it, then you're
then it's expensive regardless.
Right, it's expensive forever. Then you're stuck with someone for fuck that.
You're stuck. You got something connecting you two for the rest of your goddamn lives.
Are you a not wanting to have kids person?
It depends. So for the longest, I didn't really want kids, but sometimes I think maybe eventually I would like to have a family, but not right now.
Well, obviously not right now.
No, oh my God, I'm too young for that. Like, later on down the line, if I meet the right person and I'm like, I would like to build something with you, but like, I don't know. It's not like something I'm like, I want to have 5 kids and have a farm kind of thing. No, it's just like if I meet the right person kind of thing. And I'm like,
I'm sure growing up in the South, there are definitely some of your peers that are definitely like that.
I'm going to have 5. Yeah. I'm going to have 5 kids and have a farm and I'm going to live in the same city that I grew up in. No, that's not me.
That's some 1800s shit.
Whew.
Like, I understand back in the day needing to do that because half of them were going to fucking die and you need someone to work the farm.
Also, like, why do you want to stay in the same place you grew up in? Why?
Because it's comfortable. Most people don't want to be out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I was eager to get out of my hometown. I was like, I'm ready to go. Even like leaving New Orleans. I didn't grow up in New Orleans proper, but even leaving New Orleans, I have so many friends. Like my ex-boyfriend lives in New Orleans still. And I was like, why don't you people want to leave here? Leave the city. You guys have bright future. Like my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, he was like in the music industry, like he was producing, DJing, And I was like, at the time I was just joining the adult industry. And I was like, why don't you come to LA? That's where you grow as a DJ. And he was so against it. And that's when I was like, all right, guys.
Is that why you two broke up?
Yeah. He didn't want to come to LA.
Yeah. Fuck people with no ambition. I mean, don't fuck people with no ambition.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to let somebody stop me. I was like, I'm young.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm willing to take a risk because I don't know, risk. If you take a risk, it's fun. And if it doesn't work out, you just go back.
I tell people that shit all the time. Like,
people don't realize you can go back.
I tell people, like, I'm originally from Chicago, and though Chicago is a large fucking city, it is fucking stagnant. I left in 2011, and half my friends are still at the same bars and restaurants they're at when I fucking left. and have no ambition to fucking change. And good for them if they're fucking happy. Some of them are paired off, pumped out 2.5 children. If they're
2.5.
Averages, yeah. If they're happy, that's cool. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
The idea of like, hey, I got shit into this world here, so I'm going to stay here. Like, no. I tell people all the time, like, if you're not happy where you're at, change it. You can always go back. Don't suffer because your ancestors made a mistake.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Like if you decide to take a risk, like I did, coming to California, I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, if for some reason this doesn't work out, I can always go back. Like, it's not like I'm completely killed off from New Orleans. Like, I can go back.
Right? They haven't banned you from the city.
Yeah, like, I can go back. I guess it's maybe an ego thing, or people like, oh, I don't want to admit that I failed. But, like, that's part of life, I feel like. You know, you take a risk. That's what it is. It's a risk. You don't know if it's going to work out or not. And you have to be okay with that. You have to accept that and put your ego to the side. Honestly, that's what I did.
Well, and you can always take a different risk. Like, if LA, there's been points where it's like, fucking LA is expensive, especially during the pandemic, where it's just like, fuck, I feel LA is worth the price of admission normally, but I am paying, for 2 years, was essentially paying for an amusement park and sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And there were points where I considered, like, do I really want to keep paying the cost of living to live here with everything that's fucking going on? I don't want to go back to Chicago, though. And it's not because my ego failed or anything like that. I just don't know what the fuck I would do with myself there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what would I do if I went back to New Orleans? Strip full time again? Cool. But I don't know. That's not, I mean, I like it. I like stripping. I go to Miami once a month now because the money's great. Hey, it's a new place also. You know, like, I'm not in New Orleans. So being in Miami is like a new experience for me. I'm sure I'm going to get tired of it eventually, but I'm only there once a month. So
right.
I think that kind of levels it out. But where was I going with that?
You're continuing to take risks.
Yeah. Like I said, I went to Miami. I took a risk. Going to Miami. 11 is a very hard club to get hired at. I was very scared because all 4 of the managers watch you audition and they all have to say yes. It's not a majority. All 4 have to be like, yes. And if you catch them in a bad mood on a bad day, you're done.
That's an interesting process because you think if all four of them are watching you at the same time, right?
Yep.
Well, if one of them is really into you, he could try to influence his coworkers.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what happened with one of me. I think that's what happened with one of them for me.
Haley's sending out clones to go strip.
Maybe. One of the managers, though, like the house dad told me, he was like, yeah, one of them was like, meh, but the rest of them were like, oh, come on, she's really cute. So there was a little bit of persuasion there.
Yeah, if it was truly fair, they would audition you individually and do it via secret ballot.
Yeah, because they did congregate. Like, they all, like, it's so wild. Like, you're on this stage, like, getting judged, and then all 4 of them, like, congregate, and they're like, and you're like, it's just like judgment day here. Can I go to the restroom really quick?
No,
please.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'm back.
And Haley's back.
Yes, I am. Yeah, so it was like Judgment Day at 11 in Miami. So I'm really glad, like, with feature dancing, I don't have to worry about that.
Right? They're paying you and you don't have to audition for shit.
Yeah. And I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm going to make a certain amount of money. Like, I'm showing up for a certain rate, which is amazing. I love that. Plus, I can make more. So
a lot more.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah, like the dances and everything. And so I'm like, I'm totally on board for that.
Have you figured out costumes and all that shit and routines?
I'm still brainstorming a little bit because I am coming from being a classic club girl, but I want to kind of incorporate, like, I think, like, flow art and stuff like that, like from festivals, like raves, and into my routines. I think I want to start with that. And see how that goes. As for costumes, definitely, I don't know. Definitely not like typical stripper wear, obviously. I'm thinking about wearing most of my nice lingerie, or I was even kind of contemplating some cosplay, because I do cosplay. So I'm kind of contemplating that. I haven't seen a lot of, like, feature dancers do that, but I'm like,
Oh, there's definitely a couple. Fuck. I was attending EDI, this got to be like 6-7 years ago. And they're doing the finals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
and one of the finalists definitely came out in a sexy predator costume.
Yeah.
And like lost the mask, but it was the full fishnets, and it was like sexy predator. All right, it's weird.
Yeah.
Got to make sure it's sexy predator, not sex predator.
Yeah. Sexy, very attractive predator.
Right, a predator you'd like to fuck.
Yes.
Not someone
one that you're scared of.
Right. Well, maybe you're a little scared and aroused at the same time.
Yeah. That's normal. You could be scared and aroused, but you don't want to be.
Some people are into that. You need a refill? You good?
Yeah, I could do one more. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love my claws.
I only have them on occasion.
Really?
I'm much more of a whiskey drinker.
I believe it. Oh, I don't drink dark. I don't. The last time I drank dark liquor was at the swingers club. I drank. You want to know what got me hurt? I had a daiquiri beforehand, which was already like, I think it had like, it was 190 octane with an extra shot. And it has rum in it, I believe. I don't think it's dark rum because it's like a yellowy orange color. I don't think it's dark rum.
I think that's like a 151 sometimes goes into those.
Yeah. But afterwards we had. I sent one of my friends while we were at the swingers club to pick us up Crown Apple and we mixed that with cranberry. You want to know what that tastes like? It tastes like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
That sounds
dangerous.
Sounds dangerous, but also like I don't know. I am not in favor of whiskey tasting anything like besides whiskey.
Hey, I was 20 years old. I was all about the sweet drinks there.
Hey. That's understandable. Hell, at 20, I drank
Brown apple and cranberry. That was the last time I drank Crown, and I chipped my tooth. That's why it's the last time.
Yeah, I'm not about flavored whiskeys. No. Yeah,
I mean, hey, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it tasted good, but man, I chipped my tooth. I got too wild on it. I was like, that is the last time I drank Crown.
Everyone's got that liquor where they're like, I did really stupid shit here and I just don't drink it anymore.
Hey, I'm a tequila girl, though. I love me some tequila. A lot of people have a problem with tequila, but I don't know.
Are you drinking Blanco, Reposado?
Blanco, yeah. I don't know. Tequila's my go-to. It doesn't give me crazy hangovers, in my opinion. And I don't get too crazy on it.
Well, that's a bad thing.
Is it? You think it's a bad thing? Maybe I need to switch it up.
I don't have to babysit you, so I think it's a bad thing.
And vodka makes me cry.
Oh, that's a bad thing. That's definitely a bad thing.
Vodka makes me cry. I'll just find something to cry about. That's why I stick to tequila for the most part.
What's your brand?
Don Julio. Classic, typical. I do like Casamigos. Casamigos is good. That's like... If they don't have Don Julio, I'm like, do you have Casamigos? I would rather Casamigos over Patron. Patron's like rubbing alcohol to me. I don't know.
Hey, at least you didn't say some shit like Cuervo.
Oh, Jose Cuervo? No, absolutely not.
It's like, why is your Blanco yellow?
Yeah, literally, why is it yellow?
It's supposed to be Blanco. Clear. Yellow for some fucking reason.
Yeah, Don Julio, Silver, Blanco, whatever the frick it's called. That's my go-to. I could drink that straight, like, no problem. I don't know.
I mean, a good tequila should be able to drink straight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's my favorite. I used to keep a big old jug of it in my fridge before I decided to, like, tone it down with the drinking. Because I'm super into fitness right now, you know, and it's like, I'll have a couple drinks every once in a while. I'm going to Miami, and I'm going to be drinking a lot. But I try to keep it, you know, I'm not drinking like I was in New Orleans. You know, I try to keep it at bay, especially like I'm all about the gains now. All right.
For the audience, she's got some guns on her.
I'm about the gains nowadays, so alcohol inhibits that.
Oh, I know. I'm painfully aware.
So, yeah. It's all about balance, though. That's why I'm like, this weekend I'm going to Miami. I'm gonna be drinking. Because for me, working in the strip club, I associate it with drinking. It's probably not a good thing, but hey, we all have our vices, and I associate drinking with the strip club. And you know what? I make way more money when I drink.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it loosens you up a bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I get more aggressive.
So how do you approach dudes in the club? What?
I don't even remember how it went last time I was in Miami. But in New Orleans, I would kind of like pull off like prissy princess bitchy vibe. Like, oh, you don't want to give me money? Fine, bye. And half the time they would come back to me. It was like, you play hard to get, kind of. You play like they can't afford you, and then they're like, but I want her. So they come back.
How do you identify the dude? You're just like,
I just go up to anybody, honestly. If they make eye contact with me, I'll just go up to them. I try and play nice. Like, I really do. Like, I'm like, hi, like, what's your name? Blah, 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 blah. But if they start giving me, like, pushback, I'm like, Or if they, like, gawk at, like, my lap dance price, I'm like, okay, fine. Somebody else will pay it. And I say that. And I'm like, have a good night. And then I walk away. Half the time, they do come back. They come find me later on. But last time, I think in Miami, I'm trying to remember how that went. I got a little turnt. And I was sleep deprived, so it didn't help. So my memory is a little jogged there. But I remember I went on stage. I had it was somebody's bachelor party, and he was so obsessed with me. Oh, and I joined a table. This guy like had a stack of ones. He was like, do you want to come to my table? And I was like, yeah. So I went over there, and they were actually really, really nice. I didn't have to pull the bitch card. I was very nice. I just shook my ass a little bit. Made like $1,000 off of them. Just from being at their table. And it's so funny because the guy I was dancing on, he found me on Instagram, and like he like messaged me, and he was like, hey, let me know what your Venmo is if I owe you any more money. That's Miami for you.
You're like, $10,000, please.
I was like, if you want to send me more money, that's cool. But he thought that I didn't get the money that like they had spent because they were just throwing it on the ground. And I had went to the restroom, and I came back, and the girls were like picking it all up and leaving. So like we counted it all out. But in his mind, he was like, oh my God, she went to the bathroom. She didn't get all that money. And he handed me more money later in the night. Like I was with another customer, and I remember him handing me like a stack, like $100, like, banded with the $100 paper around it. He was like, this is for you. That's how Miami is. So I think for the most part, I made most of my money off of that table. And then the guy that I was with afterwards, it was his bachelor party, and he just kept giving me money. That's how it is. Miami's crazy.
As I said, my very first strip club experience was in Miami, a club called Stir Crazy.
Never heard of it.
I don't know. I don't even know if it still exists.
Probably not.
This is fucking like 2001.
That was before 11.
I want to see if this place still exists. Like, I'm going to Google it real quick.
Yeah.
Stir Crazy. It still exists.
Oh my God.
Stir Crazy Showgirls. 12425 South Dixie Highway, Miami, Florida.
Oh my God. I'm an 11 girl. Sorry.
Hey, I don't have any brand loyalty to the place. I was just,
yeah.
But the place was wild because like my only strip, like I'd never actually been in a strip club before. And, popular culture is like, if you touch a girl, you're going to get your hands broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there with my boss and my boss's boss at the time. We were there on a business trip. I'm 20. They snuck me into a club underage. And they're like, Matt, get a dance. I'm like, okay.
That's how it be.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
Right. I got to dance. And like, I'm just like hands on my sides. Like I'm not getting my ass.
I know what you're talking about.
Like I'm underage. I'm not getting, fucking any trouble. And the dancer's like, you can touch me.
No,
right?
That's literally me sometimes. I'm like, you can like loosen up.
Well, I guess like in this club, like the dancers were encouraging you to like grab their tits and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's only a Miami club thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a Miami thing.
Yeah, like you go to other clubs around the country, like, you grab a girl's tits, like you're about to get 86 and probably 86 hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, oh, you want me to grab your tit? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Miami's a little more wild, but I don't mind it, like, I don't know. I don't mind it. But you can still have boundaries, like I always tell, my thing is in the strip clubs, I'm like, you can touch everywhere. Like if you're paying me.
Well, obviously.
If you're paying me, you can touch anywhere besides below the waist, like, I mean, you can touch my butt, but like, I always say,
don't try to penetrate.
I'm like, don't pet the kitty. That's what I say. I'm like, you can touch everything else. Just don't pet the kitty. And they're very happy. They're like, all right, cool. That's Miami though.
Yeah, my scumbag boss definitely tried to finger bang a girl. Like,
oh no, that's how you get. I think people forget that we wear heels. I have not been afraid to take my heel to some man's crotch. All right, you try and do me dirty, I'm gonna do you even dirtier. I'm gonna hurt you.
Well, and as a 20-year-old dude, you know, I had
You were scared.
Well, I was a little scared, but I also had a laugh. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And like, as a dude who now, you know, works in the sexual, you know, adjacent and around, I'm like, man, he was a giant fucking scumbag at the.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
What are you doing, dude?
Yep.
You don't try to finger bang strangers.
No, at all. Oh my God. Like I always like question people who are like that. I'm like, first off, why do you want to finger bang me? Why do you want to touch? One of my favorite things to tell people who are very, very like grabby like that. I'm like, what if I let every customer before you do that exact same thing? And then they get disgusted and they're like, oh my God, what if? And that's if they're being like so persistent. And that's what I pull out. I pull out the guns. I'm like, oh, I'm about to make you feel gross.
But the funny thing is, in reality, that shit doesn't matter. Like, who cares, like, how many people have been inside you in the grand scheme of things?
No, but, like, in the moment, like, when they realize, like, oh, my God, what if she was, like, doing that with the guy before me just now? It's like a male ego thing in the club, especially whenever they're under the influence. They're like, that is a little gross.
Well, yeah, because the same kind of dude that wants to just try to finger bang someone is the same kind of dude that will, like, be turned off by that shit.
Yeah.
My favorite story about the shit like that is one of my buddies / former guests of the show used to be a strip club DJ, and he was dating a dancer, and they went and hooked up in the parking lot. Oh. And he finished on her chest. Like,
did she go back to work?
She went back to work and like kind of like just patted herself down, and her very next customer like was trying to suck on her tits, and she just let him.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fuck you.
Yeah, like taste my boyfriend's load.
Literally.
Now that's a different story.
That's funny. No, I like that kind of shit. That's funny. That's like a fuck you, but like you don't know it, but fuck you kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah,
they're just salty because of sweat.
Yeah, like, oh, huh.
Whoa. Yeah, my crow who told the story on here is just like, Yep. That's why I don't mess around with strippers in the club at all.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Especially in Miami. Oh my God, that place is crazy. Oh yeah. I'm excited to go back though, because I know when I go dance there, the people that visit Miami, they have money. They have money just to burn. Basically, it's crazy. It's people spend like $100,000 a night on tables and bottles,
which is so weird to me.
I know. Honestly, I'm like, hey, I'm here to reap the benefit, but I'm like, where did you get all that money? Thank you. A lot of strippers, they think Vegas is the destination, but honestly, I think Miami is the destination. I've worked in Vegas. That's all right. Doesn't compare to Miami for me.
I hate strip clubs in fucking Vegas.
No.
I absolutely fucking hate them because they're generally overpopulated with dancers.
Too many, like 200 girls.
Yeah, it's so overpopulated with dancers. Yeah, unfortunately for dancers to make their fucking nut, they just got to be like, "Yo, want to dance?" Like,
and I hate that.
Yeah, like there's no role play. There's no
hi.
Right. Because as a dude, well, these days as a dude, I don't even want to be in a strip club. I've worked in them too much to like actually enjoy them anymore.
Yeah.
But back when I actually enjoyed strip clubs, I'm paying for the fantasy that you actually like want to put up with my bullshit. Mm-hmm. Not that you just want to like have a transactional, like I'm consciously aware this is a transactional nature, but I want to pretend.
And you want to forget that it is.
Right. I want to forget and I want to pretend that like you're actually into my bullshit and like this is where you want to be. Like not, hey, you want to dance? No, I'm cool. Well, fuck you then. I'm like,
that's the Vegas hustle.
Yeah, that is the Vegas hustle.
And they line up at the door. I don't like that. I remember I worked at Spearmint Rhino. Probably never gonna work there ever again, so I don't feel bad shaming them. But they would say, like, whenever I got hired, they'd be like, oh, whenever we have a big group of guys coming in, we will tell the dancers to line up at the door. And you know what? Half the time, those guys don't like that. And I know that, but that's what all the girls do. So you kind of feel inclined to do it. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Miami where there's a ton of people, maybe 100 girls. That's still a lot of girls, but there's so many people in Miami. Like, there's plenty of money to go around. So I don't know. It's more of like in Miami, it's like a party vibe. Well, at least at 11, it's a party. Like you're at a nightclub where there just happens to be strippers, and you know what? It works out. It's a good business model. Whereas in I don't know, Vegas. It's not really the nightclub vibe. Like, you're just going for the strip club.
100% is. And yeah, I've been dragged to multiple Vegas strip clubs for work, like there with the feature or there because one of my friends is dancing and shit like that. And it's just like, I hate the, and like, I'm upfront with girls these days. Like, hey, I'm here with the feature. I'm here working. I'm not going to get a dance. And 9 out of 10 is just kind of met with a fuck you. It's like, I'm just being upfront.
Working.
But it's also like, I'm being honest with you that I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to have you sit here for a minute and try to hustle and be like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while you get like one girl who's just like, I just want to get off my feet for a minute. You mind if I fucking bottle rat? And I'm like, yeah, feel free to. They don't ever say bottle rat, but like, can I grab a drink off the bottle? Like, feel free to.
That's my favorite thing. That's kind of one of my ways to like weasel my way into a table. I'm like, can I have a drink? Hi. How are you? Thanks for the drink, like.
And I've definitely had, girls just chill at the table, have a couple drinks. I'm like, that's cool. Like, if you understand, like, I'm not buying, but you want to chill and get off your feet for a minute, that's on you. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. I'm excited though to feature and like not have to worry about so much of the hustle. Like, I love the hustle. Like, I know 11 doesn't do feature dancing. Great. Love that. I want to have like my grounding moment where I'm like, I'm a stripper and not a feature. I like, because that's where I came from. That's my roots, There's something about being a stripper that I do enjoy to this day. I do. I love it. I don't know. It's just something about it, So I'm excited to have 11 as like my main stripping point right now. And then having featuring around the country. The other thing, because I have traveled around the country. I've worked in Chicago. I worked at Scores and I worked at
fucking Stone Park. Oh God, fucking Scores.
Where you wear a dress. I hated it. Oh my God. I don't even think I did that good there. Honestly, I only worked one night and then I worked, oh my God.
Did you work the Admiral or?
Not Admiral. I think I worked at Rick's.
Is there a Rick's in Chicago these days?
I think it's like in the suburbs. So Chicago is wild. Like, all the clubs weren't really in Chicago proper.
There are only 3 clubs in Chicago proper.
Yeah.
Which is the Admiral, the Pink Monkey, and I forgot the last one. And at least with the Admiral, it's full nude, no alcohol.
Yeah.
And I've never actually been in Pink Monkey or the other one, but the other ones are like on the verse. Club 390, I don't know if it still exists.
It does, but I haven't worked there. I know it exists.
That place has a phenomenal kitchen.
Hey, some of those strip clubs got some good freaking food. Penthouse Club in Tampa, those cheese fries. I would go up to customers all the time. I'd be like, you want to buy me a drink and some cheese fries? Me and my friend would split it. I remember. Oh my God, that was a great time. But yeah, I've actually worked in New York and I've worked in Chicago. I've worked in Vegas. I've worked in Dallas. I've worked in Houston. I've worked in Tampa, Miami, New Orleans. Where else have I freaking worked? Panama City Beach. All right, that was actually a gold mine. I worked a little bit in California. I don't recommend it. I'm still trying out San Diego, which is like the spot for dancing. LA sucks.
California has weird laws.
California sucks in general.
Yeah, California has weird laws when it comes to it. It's weird. And
it's not worth it. It might be on a certain night, but for the most part, like, I wouldn't travel to California with the intention of dancing.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, I've never, I don't know. Anytime any of my friends from out of state are like, how are the clubs in California? I'm like, don't waste your time. I'm like, I'm only dancing on and off because I live here. I'm like, it's here. I'm like, I might as well, but I would not travel to California.
No, it's weird laws. The clubs are fucking weird. I've worked in a bunch of them, and it's just like, some of them are like, oh, hey, no nudity alcohol. Some of them
like
are
no nudity at all, not even topless. Like, if you're even topless.
Because technically by California law, you're not allowed to have nudity and serve alcohol if the stage was within like 50 feet of the audience.
Yep.
Which there are definitely some clubs in LA that really skirt that line.
Yeah.
There's one club that employed me at points where it's like, oh, there's definitely nudity here, and they're definitely got a bar. What they had at one point was like a full wall, like with a separate door for the bar that was in the same building. To like circumvent, but like,
yeah.
And later, like, they tore down the divider wall. It's like, how are you guys operating legally? I mean, I don't care. You're paying me, but
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like
California is not it. I mean, like I said, I only dance every so often because I'm here. I might as well see what I can make. You know, it's like an experiment, but it's not my main income. Like, if I want dancing to be my main income, I'm gonna go to Miami, New Orleans, hell, even Vegas. If I really wanted to adopt the Vegas hustle, I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't know. I don't want to. I'd rather go somewhere else, you know.
Are you looking eventually to like do enough, work in porn where you don't have to dance as much and just do the featuring? Or
yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. That's why I wanted to get into featuring, because like I said, I love dancing, and featuring it's like I want to be in that limelight. You know, I want to be the center of attention. I want to be like, yes, Haley Spades is coming to your club. You better come and see me, because this is the only chance you're going to be able to see me in public and meet me and all this other stuff, and it's also a really good business opportunity because I can like sell my merch and, upsell my dances and stuff like that and meet my fans. And I like that versus like, whereas I go into like a normal strip club, I'm just another girl.
I'm going to pitch a concept to you that I don't think anyone else is doing. You should make thumb drives of your OnlyFans content and bring it with you on the road.
You think?
Why not?
I'll be like, here, you can buy this USB of all of my videos.
Yeah, why not?
For an X amount of dollars.
Why not?
And you get to keep it forever.
They're already there to see you. Why not?
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Might do that. I might have to have my assistant do that, though. That's a lot of work. That's a good idea. See? But like, I still do like I said, the dancing aspect. So I think Miami, like my club in Miami 11 is going to be like my home base if I want to have like that I'm just a normal girl stripping. I do like to tell people though that I am the porn star Haley Spades.
Okay, so you're not adopting a different name while you're in Miami.
No. I always dance by Haley. I don't like to switch that up, and if I have to, I'm like because my old stripper name was Aubrey, which I could do. Aubrey or Jordan. Those are my stripper names. I can do that. But it feels very foreign. It's also I'm Haley Spades.
Branding. Branding's fucking important.
Yeah. It was so funny because I went back to New Orleans 2 months ago, and the house mom, I was like, hey, I want to dance by Haley, like Haley Spades. And she was like, oh, we already have a Haley here. And I was like, do you know who I am? I'm like, do you know what I've been doing for the past year? She's like, no, I know. So I went and talked to the manager, and he was like, yeah, you could dance by Haley. Because he understood. Like, I've shot for Penthouse. Yeah. Like, I've shot for the Penthouse porn company. I deserve to dance by my name, Haley Spades.
Well, at that point, the DJ should be like, and Haley Spades comes to the stage, not just Haley.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit tricky. Some of the clubs will do that, but some of them just say Haley. I'm happy with just Haley. You can call me Haley. That's fine. But, I think in Miami I do dance by Haley. Yes, I do. I was like, wait, it's been a month. I do dance by Haley at 11. They had somebody in the system as Haley, but she hadn't been there in like 8 months. And they're like,
our contract's over.
Yep, you can have it. They're like, you can have it. And I was like, yes, it's mine. Besides, like, they don't really call your name over like you know how some strip clubs would be like,
Haley to the main stage. Haley to the main stage.
They don't do that at 11. So it's not really a big deal if multiple girls have the same name.
Next up is Haley.
Yeah, they don't do that. Thank God. Which, I mean, sometimes like it would make my heart flutter whenever they did that. I'm like, oh my God. Like whenever I feature dance, I already know. They're going to be like, all right. And now we have Haley Spades, our feature. I'm like, I remember being in Tampa in Alexis, Texas, I think, featured at the Dollhouse in Tampa. And I remember seeing her. I think it was her. This is like 3 years ago. Stormy Daniel is in New Orleans. I mean, she's from Louisiana, so it's a given. I actually have a picture with her because she showed up to New Orleans as a customer a year ago. I have a picture. Me and her. She was just sitting in VIP, and I was like, can I have a picture with you? I told her, I was like, I just joined the porn industry, and I need a picture with you. I still have it. That's so funny. I forgot about that.
Did you get her number?
No.
She directs. You should have.
I didn't know. I told her I was going to do. I was like new. I was like, this was in April. This was a year ago of last year. So I was only in the industry for 2 months at that point. So I was a little shy. I was like, I'm new.
Yeah. Stormy's an award-winning director for Wicked.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Stormy Daniels. I heard she's like performing again.
I don't know. She might be.
I heard that somewhere.
I mean, she's been directing for years
I didn't
now.
know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I remember her featuring at the Penthouse Club in New Orleans. Who else featured? I don't remember. Those are like the two I remember. Alexis Texas and Stormy Daniels. Those are the two I remember. And I remember watching them and I was like, man, I was a little bit jealous. Because I would see all that money on the stage. And at the time I was like, they already make so much money.
Well, and that's something you're going to have to fucking deal with. House girl jealousy.
Oh, they're going to hate me.
Fucking
I
real.
hated them. I didn't hate Stormy Daniels, but I hated, like, you know, like at the Dollhouse in Tampa, especially when I was having a bad night. And I would see these feature girls come in. I would get a little jealous. I'd be like, I deserve that.
I definitely had to stop one of my clients from fighting a house girl while we were on the road.
Oh, the girls can get me.
The house girl was talking shit about my client's fucking choice in music. She danced to my fucking song. And my client was someone who's just not about taking shit.
Yeah.
And we were in the manager's office, which was working as the dressing room. And she just comes storming out of the fucking door. Bitch, I can fucking hear you. I'm like, yeah, we need to go back in the office now.
Like, you're being paid to be here. Do
Right.
not fuck this up.
Yeah, like, you're being paid. I'm being paid because you're getting paid. Back inside. And like I smoothed it over the fucking. Thankfully, I was wearing the band shirt of like the band from that she was dancing from the song she was dancing. Because at first, you know, that I heard what the house girls were like. That bitch is dancing my song. I thought she was a fucking poser, but her fucking roadie's wearing like the shirt. Like
Her fucking roadie.
oh yeah, we're both fucking metalheads. Like yeah. Yes, I'm wearing a Megadeth shirt. Yes, she is dancing the Megadeth. Because we're fucking metalheads. Like, this is legit.
Yeah.
She did not come here to steal your song, random anonymous house girl.
She came here to perform and leave.
Right.
She's not here working every night.
Right. She is not in Philadelphia every fucking night.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. I already know it's going to happen because I was one of those girls. You know, I was. I'll admit it. It's so funny because while Stormy Daniels is on stage at the Penthouse Club in New Orleans, it was during Halloween. And it was an open bar, like, you know, like, it was like one of those nights that, like, I expect, like, I'm not going to make that much money, but I get to dress up and drink with my friends. Like, you know, it's like, I knew I wasn't going to make, like, a shit ton of money that night. Especially when there's an open bar. Hello. Duh. But...
You think you should, because they're spending less money on alcohol.
No, the people that are, like, cheap.
Yeah, show up for open bar.
They want the open bar.
Yeah.
So, I remember standing there watching Stormy Daniels, you know, just minding my business, and this customer turns around. I love Stormy Daniels, all right? I have nothing against her. Let me just make that clear. This customer turns around and he was like, why aren't you up there? You should be up there, not her. And I was like, oh, I'm flattered, but you could tip me. I'm right in front of you. You could buy a dance.
Right.
We can go do something. You don't need to look at me on stage. He bought a dance. But, you know, like, I just, like, I remember stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I'm about to be that girl on stage, which I'm so excited for, actually. I'm so freaking excited. Like I said, it's always been a dream of mine to, like, take that next step, especially in, like, my dancing career. Especially since I'm so comfortable with being on a stage like that. But I know the house girls are gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me. That's why they keep the feature away from the house girls, though.
Oh, I know.
Because the house girls will get mean.
Oh, I know. That's... I've been a roadie for a long time. I mean, it's been years.
Yep.
It's been years since I've done the gig, but I have done the gig a lot of times.
Yep.
Like, you know, there were multiple times where it was my job to run interference between the house girls management and the feature.
Is that what I'm gonna have? Am I gonna have a roadie in a sense?
You should hire one. Yeah.
Like, oh, I should hire one. Yeah. I know. My contract for my upcoming feature, it says that security will be provided by Sapphire. Oh. By the club that I'm featuring. I don't know when you're releasing this, but I wanted to keep it a secret. Yeah. It might be out by then. Okay. If it is, you could put it in there.
Yeah, eventually when you get to enough level, there'll be a budget for a roadie on top of it.
Yeah. I know the contract for my club that I'm featuring at in May, it says that security will be provided by the club. So, which I've actually worked at that club before as a dancer. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Not the specific location, but one of the locations in the city I've worked at. And it was an interesting experience. So I'm excited to be there as a feature.
Well, hopefully you get to the point where you can start booking your own roadie, because club providing security is one thing, but it's also better to have like someone you know and trust being like,
Yes.
oh, I'm scooping dollars for you. I'm making sure from when we leave the club, get back to the hotel, do any
Nobody's
extracurricular activities, you got someone with you.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't really have that right now. I am a single Pringle, and I would have to hire somebody.
You'd have to hire somebody. The people who contract you, I'm not going to say which network it is.
Yeah.
They super do not allow significant others.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's understandable, because then like emotions get involved.
Right.
And it's like, stay out of this.
Right.
You know?
No, you want someone with you who's like, there is a professional to scoop you dollars, deal with management. Like, no, she wants this is her playlist. Like, pretty much when you get to the point where the roadie, like, it's like, I would I'd carry the bags, make sure all the arrangements.
Yeah.
Like, I would talk to the DJ, be like, here's her set list. This is what you need to play. This is how you announce her. These are her credits.
Yeah.
That's all part of the gig. Like,
yeah.
And all you do is chill backstage, eat, decide on your outfits, and go perform.
Yep, that's it.
And there were definitely nights where, like, my client didn't feel like drinking, and I had to fucking drink for her, basically.
Oh, do they give you free drinks or
something? No, it was like some VIP. Like, the manager's like, that's like one of our big spenders. Like, can you give him some attention?
Yeah.
So, like, I rolled over there with her, and he's just like, oh, I got bottle service. I want to buy you shots. And she's just kind of like, Matt. I'm like, clang.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Help curate the party.
I like to drink. I do. I like to drink. So.
Oh, she likes to drink too. It was just one of those, like,
she doesn't want to.
Yeah, she didn't want to. And, like, Matt's a garbage disposal for alcohol. Here you go. Do it.
Yep.
He was drinking like coffee Patron. I'm just like, I could drink this all night. This has like no.
Coffee Patron.
It was a thing.
Ugh.
Do they still make that? I don't even know. If
I love a nice espresso martini, but coffee Patron.
Yep, they still make it. Holy fuck! That's a $200 bottle.
Oh my god.
Okay.
One of my fans better buy that at one of my feature clubs. Oh my god.
Well, depending on it's for sale between $199 and $99 a bottle. I don't know why there's such a wild
big window.
Yeah, why there's such a wild window on. But yeah, it's Patron XO Cafe.
Interesting.
But I'm like, this is low proof. I can drink this all fucking night.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to feature. Oh my god. I've already started brainstorming. Like I said, I want to incorporate some like flow and like LED like stuff into my shows. But that's about all I have that I want to share for now.
Well, you were saying you want to do
cosplay.
Some what do you want? What do you think about cosplaying?
Oh man, I have a tried and true cosplay that I really like doing, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn between doing cosplay because then it takes away from who I am, like as a performer. Like people know me as the short, petite, blonde Haley Spades. Throw on a wig and stuff, and it's like it's not really Haley Spades. So that's my issue with it, because I love cosplaying 02 from Darling in the Franxx, the anime. Love that. I don't know. I love that cosplay. And I don't know. I like being like a little cat girl too, like a cat girl. I've cosplayed as Shiro from No Game No Life, from Naruto, and it's like stuff like that. But I'm like, I don't know how big of a crowd. I don't know.
Maybe for your second performance of a night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I do have two some nights, so it makes sense. Maybe I'm like, okay, the first performance is me as Haley Spades, and the second performance I am doing a cosplay. Oh, that's a lot of work, though. I mean, but I have
Welcome
time.
to being a feature.
I know. I'm like, I have time, but like getting in a cosplay can sometimes take hours. So it's like I'd have to like kind of like consolidate that in a sense.
Maybe do something that's not so makeup heavy.
Yeah. Well, it's just like having to like put on a wig the right way. Like doing your hair and like having it like secured the right way
in some manager's office or
yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do all that. So I'm still brainstorming with that. Cosplay is definitely on my list of things to possibly explore, but I definitely want to incorporate like the flow art kind of thing with LEDs. Yeah. Oh man, when Stormy Daniels came to the Penthouse Club, she did an oil show. Clubs are 50-50 on that. Some of them like it if you put a tarp down.
Oh, you have to put a tarp down.
Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of them are like, no. Stormy Daniels like put down a whole tarp and did an oil show. So like, I could do stuff like that. That's easy.
I mean, they're also, because of how famous Stormy is at this point,
they're like,
they're not
you
going to
can do whatever
argue.
you want.
Right. They're not going to argue with Stormy about it.
Yeah. I know some clubs are like, no. Like my first feature, they were like, absolutely no oil, no silly string. What else? Like no confetti. Like anything that I have to clean up, don't bring it here. That's what they said basically. And I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna keep it simple, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the first club like I said, I'm featuring it. I've worked there before as a dancer, only one night. Very interesting club. But
is it the one full of Wall Street bros?
It is, but they have 3 different locations in New York, and I haven't worked at the specific location. It's their newest one.
Okay. I've definitely been to one of the older ones where one of my friends was featuring. I was just there hanging out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, everyone has suspenders on. This is so weird.
Wall Street Bros. I like them. Hey, I like them.
Hey, they have money.
Yeah. Oh no, I like them. I like them. And New York has a very big. They got a big population of men with money.
Yeah, it's a really fucking expensive place
and they
to live
like
these
going
days.
to strip clubs. So I have nothing against them. So I'm interested to see how it goes as a feature. As a dancer, it was a little bit intimidating. A little bit.
I bet.
A little bit, especially as my first night. I only lasted one night there. And it's funny, my ex-boyfriend, he went there as a customer while I was there. And was like, he was just talking to the girls to try and get a feel for the club. He was like, I want to see what's happening that you don't know about. I mean, he didn't really find out much. He was just like drinking. He got too drunk and ended up going back to the hotel early. Thank God.
Well, also, what house girl is going to tell some random fucking the secrets?
Anything. Yeah. I was like, okay, good. Go back to the hotel. Let me make my money. Because I always felt weird. I don't know. I never wanted him to be there. But in New York, he was like, I want to come and check out these New York clubs with you. And I was like, fine. Just don't tell anybody. He's my ex-boyfriend. So I'm like, I don't care what he does. But at the time, like, he was just like, I've never been to a New York strip club. He's like, I've heard all kinds of things. I want to know what these girls offer and do and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. But then he got too drunk and had to go home to the hotel room.
Aw.
I know.
Aw, poor baby. Got too drunk.
That was him. I used to babysit him all the time. He's an ex for a reason.
Wow, it's not just because he wouldn't live in New Orleans, apparently.
Oh, no. There's a lot of issues with that relationship. That's why he's an ex. I haven't talked to him in like a year, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, it's good that you're staying strong and being like, fuck that. It's been a trying time for everybody. We're like, well, I remember there were some good times, and like, good on you.
No,
Good on you.
I'm good on that. I like living my own life.
Well, you should, and like, a good partner shouldn't be impeding your life.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You know, like if there is somebody trying to change you or change your path, they're not meant to be in your life.
100%, especially when it comes to like working in sex work. If you have someone who like remotely objects to what you're doing, especially if you were a sex worker when they met you,
Yeah.
that's a giant fucking red flag and a giant fucking problem.
Yep.
And it is the tale. Sadly, the tale is all the time in fucking porn of girls meet some dude who's like all about it until it's time for them to go to set. And then all of a sudden they're Captain Save a Ho and they're like, no, I don't feel right. And like all of a sudden they're a girl
Like,
performer.
oh my God, I can't text you while you're on set. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm
guess
like,
what? If I was working retail, you couldn't text me either, motherfucker.
Yeah, you freaking people. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna enjoy my single life. Like I said, I'll wait and see if the right person comes in. But at this time in my life, I'm just trying to do what I want to do.
As you should. As you fucking should.
Yeah, I'm like, let me live my life.
You're in your fucking early 20s. Like,
Yeah. If somebody rolls around and they're completely okay with it, good on me. Hopefully.
well, yeah.
You never know.
I mean,
Things can switch gears very quickly.
I mean, and that's why a lot of people end up dating within the industry because.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have a problem with that. I know there's some good apples. I know there's a lot of bad apples. And my thing is, if I'm dating somebody in the industry, are we ever going to not talk about work? Are we ever going to talk about anything besides work? Anything besides what we do? I'm like, what are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? You know, what are your interests outside of porn and shooting? You know, like I want to have a separation.
That's so fucking important.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people in the industry, I don't know these relationships, but talking to some of these people that I work with, hey, I love everybody I work with. You guys are great. But Some people don't have hobbies.
And unfortunately, because the nature of the beast of this thing, most people have a limited window in this fucking industry.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are trying to make their money as fast and as hard as they can.
Yeah.
And don't have the energy to concentrate on anything fucking else. And I can tell you firsthand, as someone who does this and tries not to just talk about, what you're doing in the industry. Mm-hmm. I get performers on here that unfortunately have nothing to fucking say if we're not talking directly about their fucking career.
I'm like, I love dancing. I like surfing. I like video games. I like cosplay. I work out.
I know you're.
I like traveling. I like traveling for fun. I have hobbies.
Where else have you been, by the way?
Traveling. Well, Mexico's the first international trip I'm taking. I know. Well, I got my passport right before the pandemic. And at the time, I was about to graduate college. So it was 2020, right? I'm good. I still have half.
It's fine.
Yes, it is. I was about to graduate college. It was 2020, right? That's when the world shut down. Okay, yeah. So I was about to graduate literally 2 weeks before the shutdown, before anything happened. I had my passport appointment, right? No, I had gotten my passport, but I had my TSA appointment. That's what it was. Because I had TSA pre-check. I was like, if I'm going to...
Did you get global entry?
Yes, I did.
Fuck, high five.
Oh, yeah. It was like $15 extra. That's why, I had the whole interview. Oh,
it is so fucking worth it. Believe me, there is nothing more satisfying than watching people wait in a fucking customs line when you just go up to the kiosk, get your receipt, and wave it at customs. He's like, I'm out, bitches.
No, literally, like, me going to Mexico, none of my friends have global entry. And I'm like... You guys suck. They don't even have TSA pre-check. They have clear, but that's a different line.
And that's only for coming in.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all.
Global entry is life. Global entry is fucking life.
I made sure to get that, but it was like 2 weeks before the pandemic. I got my passport, TSA pre-check, and global entry because my graduation present to myself, I hadn't booked anything, thank God. I wanted to go to Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Japan.
Tokyo's my happy place. My audience is rolling their eyes because every time Japan comes up, they're like, "Oh, here he goes." Tokyo is fucking amazing. I will regale you with shit off air because my audience has heard it way too fucking much. I love it there. I fucking love it there. I want to go back, but they're still pretty fucking locked down.
Oh no, yeah, China, all the Asian countries for the most part, yeah.
South Korea just reopened.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a good spot too. It's a good spot.
Oh no, I'm going to Seoul.
My brother-in-law is in the military, not army. He's Air Force. He was stationed, deployed in South Korea, and he freaking loved it.
Seoul is supposed to be fucking amazing and much cheaper than Tokyo. So I've been to Tokyo twice. South Korea. So if you're vaccinated, get a COVID test before you leave and a COVID test when you arrive in country. Don't have to quarantine.
Good to know.
So I am going. I'm calling it here, folks. I am going to South Korea this fucking year.
I believe it. I
am finding a way. I'm going to go get fucking ignorant in fucking South Korea.
Drink that soju. Oh my God. My brother-in-law brought some South Korean soju home. I remember he came to New Orleans and brought it with him. He was like, "You want to take some?" I was underage. He was like, "You want to drink some?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do."
I got 2 bottles of soju in the fridge right now.
The real soju or the American soju?
I mean, I bought it at a Korean market, so I don't know how.
Probably Americanized. You can only get Korean, real, where you don't know the alcohol content in Korea, and it's regulated there. So I'm like, if you got it at a Korean market, it's probably the American version.
Whatever, it does the trick.
Yeah. But the fun is buying the soju in Korea where you don't know how much alcohol is in it.
I'm down.
And then people are just obliterated in the streets. That's like a normal thing in Korea.
Oh, and I'm going to be one of those people.
Yes, you are. I don't know. Something about Asian countries, the culture shock was what drew. And I love Japanese Asian culture, anime, video game. I love it. I love it. I'm a very American girl, all right, but I love it. And that's why I wanted that to be my first international trip.
Japan actually was my first international trip.
That's awesome.
It was
culture shock. That's what I want.
Oh, it's more of a culture shock than you'd think.
Yeah.
Because it's little things like talking on a train is considered rude there, and people just don't do it. Or everything's super orderly. Even when we were getting kicked out of places, they were so polite about it that we had felt like we had done something wrong, because visible tattoos very much have criminal connotation in Tokyo. And the first trip I was there with my tattoo artist, just face and neck tattoos, I didn't cover up. Like
they don't like it.
I knew it was a thing. I didn't realize how much of a thing.
I didn't realize they would kick you out of places for it.
Yeah, we got refused service in like 10 places over the course of a trip.
Good to know. In Japan, wear long sleeves.
Yeah. Literally, we would roll into fucking bars and restaurants, and they'd be like, "So sorry, we're closed. So sorry."
You're like, "No, you're not. You got people in there."
Yeah, but we'd be like, "Oh, our bad. We'll go." And then we're out on the street, like, "Wait a minute, there were definitely people eating in there. Fuck."
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was my first planned international trip. Didn't happen because the world shut down. But I had my passport. I had everything in line. So now that everything's calmed down, I'm like more settled into a place in California. I decided I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to go to Tulum.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. You said this is being released in 2 weeks. I'll already be gone. So actually, I might be in Tulum, which works out. I mean, by that point, people will know. But I was keeping it a little bit of a secret just because I want to be like, boom, I'm in Tulum.
So much for the promotional cycle on it. Damn. I don't want to bother you on your vacation to promote the episode.
No,
Fuck.
once I'm there, people will know, but I'm like leading up to it.
Oh, no, I'm just giving you shit about not promoting the
like
episode while you're on vacation.
It's like the little, like, where is she going? She's going overseas? Oh, where is she going, though? So I wanted Japan to be my first international trip.
It's so good. It's so
It's in my future. It is. Don't know when, but it's in my future. Right now I'm going to Tulum, and then in June I'm going to Portugal.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going for a music festival. It's called Secret Project. It's put on by Insomniac. It's Secret Project Portugal. It's replacing EDC Portugal. It's all house, techno, drum and bass, and disco. And it was so cheap. And Portugal is a very cheap destination to go to. I mean, your flight's expensive, but your Airbnb for like 5 people for like 4 days is like $500.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's cheap as fuck. And it's nice.
The whole Iberian Peninsula is just fucking cheap for some reason.
It's so cheap. My festival ticket was only $150 for 3 days.
And all drugs are decriminalized in case you want to get real weird.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. The rave lifestyle. People like to get weird. They do.
Do you ever fuck around with hallucinogens or anything? Or
not LSD or mushrooms. I don't know. Whenever I was like 18, 19, I had dropped acid a couple times, but honestly, I hated how long it lasted.
Acid is such a time commitment.
I'm like, after 2 hours, I'm like, man, I got at least another 8 hours of this. I'm done. And then you're not done. You're committed.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like my one thing with like psychedelics. I'm like, the time commitment. I'm like, I want it to be over after a certain point. So I dropped a few times, and thankfully at a young age, I learned I did not like it.
See, shrooms last so...
I think it's like 6 to 8 hours for shrooms.
4 to 6, really.
Yeah. And then acid is like 8 to 12.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Though mushrooms can be 8, because I decided on Monday night that I was going to do mushrooms at midnight, and at 8 a.m. I'm like, why can't I fall asleep still? Fuck.
Wait, what? You couldn't fall asleep on mushrooms? I feel like the times I took mushrooms, I was able to fall. I didn't take a lot though. I was able to fall asleep and just fine. Acid though, no.
I definitely took a little over an 8.
Yeah, you took. Yeah. Oh no, that's a lot.
I'm a much bigger person than you.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I would take like a gram and a half. Max.
Oh yeah, no, I took an 1/8, which is 3.5 grams for the people who can't do math that are listening. And I'm like, after an hour and a half, because normally like 45 to an hour, like you metabolize it and you start feeling like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I am feeling shit. And I did another stem and cap, and then like an hour after that, I'm like, oh, I'm
lit.
Yep, I am definitely tripping now.
Yep.
And then I was at 8 a.m. I'm like, I still can't fall asleep, and I have a call at 11:30. Fuck.
Oh my god.
I eventually fell asleep, and my alarm went off. I'm like, already? Fuck.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I learned my lesson very early that I didn't like psychedelics. Like I was 18, 19. I think the last time I dropped, I think most of the times I dropped, I was 18. And I think, the last time I did acid, I was with my friend who it was her first time. And I dropped with her. And it was in that moment I was like, I think I'm done.
See, I found I've liked shrooms a lot better than acid at this point.
Yeah.
It's less of a time commitment, and like depending on the batch of acid, it's like, oh, this is super intense, or this is really just
Nothing.
like body high.
Yeah.
Where shrooms just seem much more consistent.
Yep. I don't know. Learned my lesson very early. I was like, I'm done with psychedelics. I'm like, maybe in the future I wouldn't mind dabbling a little bit, but like, I don't know. I just hate it. I don't know. I hated the whole like feeling like, I guess I didn't want to let go of control. I didn't like that feeling. I was like, ugh. I was like, why am I like this? And my poor friend, the first time she dropped acid, and I was already like, I think it was like my, only thing I like dropped like 3 times before I decided to put it down for good. I was like, it was her first time and she was stuck in a loop. This poor girl. I remember she was like, we were in college. And for some reason we dropped in her apartment clubhouse. Like, you know, like where they have like computers and like pool tables and like TVs and like chill areas. For some reason we were hanging out there. She was like, somebody would like walk past us and she was like, they know. And I'm like, no, they don't. She's like, no, they know that we're on acid. And I was like, no. They don't know anything. They're gone.
And why do you care?
And she was like, what if they call campus police on? I'm like, they're not going to call the police. And she would calm down and then like do it all over again. And I was like, you're stuck in a loop. I was like, you need to like relax.
Yeah, that is not a good trip.
No, she was stuck in a loop. But I mean, she's continued on with psychedelics past that. So good for her, I guess. But I have decided I'm good in that aspect. But I am excited to go to Portugal. It'll be my first time going to like Europe, that area. So I'm excited, and really good music, you know, like drum and bass.
Oh no, and Portugal's like, are you going to be in Lisbon or are you?
Huh?
Are you going to be in Lisbon?
It's called Portimao.
I don't know where in the country that is.
It's like the beach, And then I'm thinking about, I know Croatia does like Yacht Week around that time. So I was like, ooh. Because, you know, whenever you go to Europe, you don't just go for a weekend. Hello. You're going to make like 2 weeks out of it. Yeah, like if you're traveling that distance.
Well, and it's crazy how easy it is to get around Europe. On a 2017 trip, I went from Amsterdam to Germany, back to Amsterdam to Finland, back to Amsterdam, then back to the States.
Yeah. You have that mass public transport. It's like,
well, I mean, the flights.
The flights. It's like going to Vegas from LA. Yeah,
seriously. Amsterdam to Munich was an hour. Mm-hmm. And then we went and fucking did Oktoberfest, so that was...
Yeah, no, I'm sure that was lit. Oh my god, the beer.
Oktoberfest was so much fucking fun. It wasn't even just the beer, it was the fucking food was amazing. I mean, unfortunately, your dietary restrictions, you wouldn't have... Look, it was a lot of fucking, like, pork.
Oh my god.
A lot of sausage and, like, schnitzel. But roast duck was amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's all you can eat.
I've never eaten duck. I don't know. Ducks are cute.
They're rapists.
But they're cute.
They're rapists.
But they're cute. Quack, quack.
You're like, I forgive rape if they're cute.
No. It's just, I think animals are cute.
I'm just busting your balls. So.
I'm like,
they're delicious. The roast duck was delicious.
I mean, it's bird, you know. Sure tastes like bird.
Duck's a little greasier than like chicken.
Like gator?
Not gator. Not gator.
Gator's really gamey, but it tastes like chicken to me.
Oh, no.
It's like gamey chicken.
I miss blackened chicken from New Orleans, or blackened gator. Chicken.
Either blackened chicken and gator are good in New Orleans.
They are. They're so good.
Yep.
I
know. I need to go back soon. I was gonna go for Jazz Fest, but I'm going to Miami and then Tulum, so no Jazz Fest in my future.
Always next year.
Yeah, it's always gonna come back.
Yeah, that's one of those New Orleans staples. You can always go again.
Yeah, I don't like to be in New Orleans during the summer. So now that summer is coming up, I'm like, see you guys in the fall.
Right, like when it's you can actually stand to fucking be here.
Even living there, oh my god, I would walk outside and like go to like the grocery store, like to Brothers, and go get some chicken whenever I live there. You know what I'm talking about, Brothers chicken? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, that good freaking gas station chicken that just hits. I would walk there like a block and I'd be drenched in sweat. I'd be like, all right, I need another shower.
Yeah, this is part of the reason I don't want to live there.
No, it's hot. Well, a lot of people who live there, like, they leave during the summer. That's why summer is slow season in not California, and New Orleans, like Louisiana in general for tourists. It's slow 'cause it's too freaking hot, and there's hurricanes. It's too freaking hot, and it's hurricanes. Like, you know, nobody wants to be there for that. Nobody, not even the locals.
No, fuck no. Fuck no.
That's why I was like, if I go back anytime soon, it's not going to be during the summer. It's going to be September or October. Sorry,
even September
fam.
could be too fucking hot.
Still, yeah. They had the fried chicken fest during my birthday. And I remember walking there because I lived in downtown. Me and my ex-boyfriend, we walked there. Oh my God, it was so hot. We were like drinking. You know when it's too hot and you're drinking alcohol and you're not even getting drunk because it's just too hot. You're just drinking all this alcohol and you're like, man, it's too hot. Yep, that's how it was.
Ugh, the fucking worst.
I know, but it was my birthday and I was like the fried chicken festival. But it was like 85, 88 degrees with 100% humidity.
The fucking worst.
I'm like, 85 doesn't sound too bad until you throw in 100% humidity.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that.
Sticky. You're sticky.
Yeah, it's gross.
Can't breathe.
It's part of the reason I don't like Miami all that much either. Like,
It does get humid. Right now, it's not too hot. But
that'll
it's gonna
change.
get hot into
That
May.
will fucking change.
Yeah, so I'm like, this weekend's probably like my last weekend where it's not like treacherous. Because it's gonna be like in the 90s in LA this weekend. Miami, it's like 84, 82.
Much more humidity in Miami, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it being 95 in LA. Ugh. Especially in the valley.
Yeah, that's why I try not to go there.
Oh, no. I'd rather be in Miami. Plus, I'll be sleeping all day.
Like, I'll only be out at night.
Yeah, I'm only going to be out at night. It's going to be like in the 60s at that point.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So where else do you want to go? Like, besides Asia, Portugal?
Bali would be nice. I like tropical places. You know, Bali would be really nice. Even Canada. I don't know. That's not tropical.
No.
I know. But I'm saying, like, I don't know, like the mountains and the forests would be really nice. I know Canada has some amazing, like, national parks, and that's what I want to go see there. Niagara Falls, even, and from Canada, not from US. I don't know. I feel like it'd be different.
If you can do it, I always highly recommend Cuba.
Yeah. Cuba? No. What?
Cuba was rad.
They just opened that back up, right? Like, recently?
So I don't know.
Because they had the sanctions and everything
So-
and the border.
Oh, at the end of Obama's term,
Yeah.
he made it so you could directly fly from the States to Cuba. You still technically can't go there for tourism.
What do you go there for?
To support the Cuban people. You have to
Tourism.
No, you have to like write an affidavit to the State Department before you leave, stating why you're going. I went for journalism. I brought my podcast gear with me,
Yeah. Easy.
but you're not legally allowed to go for tourism. It was rad. Cuba was fucking rad.
It's not first on my list.
Let me pitch it to you on this note. Where else can you go in the world that has no Americana, that is not an active war zone?
Good point.
Like, there's no Starbucks, there's no McDonald's, there's no Burger King, there's no...
Yeah, that's why, I don't know. I want culture shock. Like
Right,
that.
and believe me, you can't really get on the internet there.
Interesting.
So, like, it was 10 days of just being off the grid. Everyone's on a hustle, like a wild hustle. We were in downtown Havana, and our Airbnb was a little bit outside town, trying to get a cab back to the Airbnb. One of my friends who natively speaks Spanish, like, oh, this guy will take you. We get in his car. He's not a cab. He's just some dude who, like, taking the money.
Oh my God.
There were actually checkpoints set up where people were checking to make sure that we were actually in legal cabs.
Wow.
We had people selling us counterfeit cigars out of their apartment. Like, everyone's on a hustle, and it's a
Wow.
wild fucking place.
Interesting.
It was really cool. The beaches were beautiful. You eat crawfish, so I'm assuming you eat lobster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they brought lobsters out to the beach for us for like 18 US.
Oh my God, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
You pay like $40 in the United States for lobster.
Right, and not for them to set up a table on the beach for you. Like, we're at the beach and like, do you guys want lobsters? Like, yeah, they set up fucking tables for us on the beach and brought the lobsters out to us on the beach.
Oh my God.
Like,
nice.
and then people just rolling through with coconuts full of rum. Like, came out to like $5 US for a coconut full of rum.
Nice.
Yeah, like, it was a rad place.
Good to know. I'll write that down in my travel notebook.
And it's just one of those things where, like, you get to be like, yo, you ever been to Cuba? And most people are like, no. They have
No clue.
they have no fucking idea.
That's funny.
And, like, Cuban jazz clubs were really cool.
Okay.
And we got a bottle of Jameson for like $25 in the club.
Oh my God. In the club.
Yeah, it's like
that. Yes, like in the club, because in the club normally you're paying like $200.
If you're lucky,
$300.
LA bottle service is like $500.
Oh my God. Jeez.
So like paying retail in the club was like,
it's like
all right,
crazy. Yeah. Oh my God.
And just watching live jazz, fucking drinking bottle service at fucking retail cost. It was. I had a really fucking good time down there, and we had an insane Airbnb. It's a 10-bedroom, 11-bath house that we were paying $500 a night for between like 10 people.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad.
And we had a staff, like we had dudes there that were doing security / bartending at night, and then like during the day they would cook us breakfast in the morning for an extra like $5 US a day.
Not bad.
Fresh fruit, like a lot of pork in the diet, but
oh my God.
but the fact that like they're making us like fresh juice and fresh fruit in the morning, and like I did not realize how much I was going to enjoy being in there. I had a crew I regularly travel with, and we're like, honestly, Cuba was exciting to me because I read a Playboy article in like the early 2000s where like there's something called Restaurante Particulares, which are state-sponsored restaurants in people's homes. So like it's essentially home cooking in people's home. Like and you just
fancy.
We're just kind of like fucking traversing neighborhoods looking, because you'll just see a house covered in neon and shit. Like, that's a Restaurante Particolare, and you just roll into people's homes and like they cook for you.
Cool.
Like it's really fucking.
I'll have to check it out. No, for sure. I mean, it sounds like something I'm down to check out. Maybe not like this year, but in the future. Yeah,
I don't know what the situation about going there at the moment is. We thankfully went like in February of 2017, so it's like Obama had just lifted the restrictions. Trump had just gotten into office, and we were super afraid
like
Trump was going to lock it back down, and he did like a couple months later.
Yeah.
But I was on one of the first direct U.S. flights from New York to Cuba.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the restroom really quick again.
Well, actually, we're gonna wrap this motherfucker up. We're gonna call last call.
So I have to pee.
we're gonna do the sign offs, and then you can urinate as much as you like. So in the last call on this motherfucker, Haley, where can they find you on the things?
So my Twitter is Haley Spades. My Instagram is right now, I just got deleted again, XOXO Haley Spades. My OnlyFans, Haley Spades. Pornhub, Haley Spades. Everything's pretty much Haley Spades. You can find me pretty easily. As long as you have my Twitter and Instagram and OnlyFans, you're set.
Fuck yeah. And if you want to see Haley at your local club, request her.
Yes, please.
Now,
I'm so excited.
She is feature dancing, so she could be in a club near you.
Yeah.
And as always, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. Slayer on Facebook, twitch.tv/Matt F. Slayer. You can find the Patreon at patreon.com/Matt Slayer. And you can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. And until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Thank you.